Well, you're joking or serious?
I'm like half a mile away, but pull over.
You're serious, you're not joking, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go get him. Life storage?
I'm good.
Okay, come on, I'll go see you. Okay, I'll be right there. Okay, bye.
I thought he told you. I thought he told you. It's wild, it's fucking ridiculous, you know?
Sorry. Yeah, well, it's not. There you go. We'll be right back.
I said, pull over with me.
Glad you didn't think the bitch.
I thought you drove up that time.
He's getting that bitch.
Yeah. Look, have you done like double tapping, and you know wheels coming, and then she takes it, you know, there. You got 20 minutes and you're like. Which one? Sorry, I'm not there, that's here. Yeah, I hear you, bro, I hear you. I was talking to my parents. There's there. I put down. Oh, you're gonna smoke?
What's up, everybody? You are Dave Tipton, welcome. Okay. How do I make this horizontal?
I see you, nigga. Relax. So do I get out of here through here? Where do I get off from? Can I go through?
That's cute. Make this little thing like level. Do it. Forty-two people, not bad. All right. Oh, we are streaming to the YouTubes, guys. I know the music's not playing. So people on YouTube, just stay tuned. It's coming. It's coming. So if you guys didn't notice, that was Hypnotica called AZD. It was like this woman being in trouble. So I just got out of the car. I need you guys to come pick me up. She drove all the way here from San Diego, 6 hours or whatever. And the last half mile, man, you gotta always be able to walk away, you know? Always do. That's the only way you keep the girl. Willingness to walk away. And keep your soul at the same time. You keep a girl, but lose your balls and your soul. But you all already know that. You all already know that, and then some of you guys are new, so I hope you guys are planning to, train and sign up, all that good stuff. Okay, hold on. There we go. Hey, talking about. All right. Who all we got on here? Any? You guys, throughout, think of questions, PhD. So what's up, Kenjo-san? Everybody, throughout, think of questions, comments. Does anybody raise your hand? Do you not know who Hypnotica is? Have you not heard of who Hypnotica is? Go ahead, raise your hand. Let me know. Okay. Yeah, I see physical hand. If you do the digital hand, I'll know, but I saw Dave Tipton. They'll be arriving in any second, so I can't really get too much into like a dialogue.
They just pulled into the driveway.
Okay, they just pulled into the driveway. ¿Qué pasó, chingones? Okay. We got a little something right there, just a little ticket, pocket two. So there we go. Okay, sounds like it's here.
I'm gonna come back. Yeah. And probably next week. Okay. Let's do it again. Want to go down? Everybody, legendary Hypnotica. Woo! No, the Iron Station. Top brass.
What's up, gentlemen?
So, let's go. So, we're trying to have the tell the girls, pull fuck over. We did out here. Yeah, that was meet you. Pleasure to meet you, brother. Thank you. Hey, what's up, man?
See you.
Yeah, man, looking fucking rock and rolling. Thanks. Let me get my.
Yeah,
Something. Let's see. Here's the go.
All right, bro, you're getting me at my absolute highest level of evolution and speed right now. This is gonna be the best conversation we've ever had. I'm letting you know, this is that moment in the history of all the dimensions.
It's all
Shit's about to go down right now.
It's all coming together, man.
So there's no time limit.
Okay, cool.
It's the first time you and I are around each other, no time limit, the same fucking time zone, same house, everything. So we'll go as long as you want.
Same city? Are we sitting down, standing up?
Yeah, but he's gonna introduce us in a second.
Okay.
Very good, we ready? It's muted right now, right?
No.
Great.
but we could clip it, so it's a separate recording.
Okay.
Welcome everybody to this very special stream. I'm Yogi Chris of Ninth Limb Yoga. I am a PhD in engineering and other environmental sciences, and I've traveled the world teaching yoga, learning from yoga masters around the world. And at some point 9 years ago, I came across AZD after getting into the pickup arts community about a year prior to that. And I saw all I needed to see as far as presence, communication skill, awareness, and I decided to dedicate my life to the teachings of IMC Nation. Years later, I've come to know some of the top guys in the pickup and dating community, and I had the pleasure of meeting Hypnotica on several occasions, and I've studied some of his work and continue to study his work. It's profound. He's a legend in this industry of men's coaching and dating and seduction and all of the offshoots that come from that. Those are just small words we use to define these things, this life development, and he's at the top. And of course, you know me as captain of IMC Nation, the highest rank of IMC underneath the founder, AZD, and I believe AZD is top on the planet, the coach of Earth in seduction and relationships. And so I'm very excited to present to you today this conversation between the two top Gs, AZD and Hypnotica, in the house today. IMC Base One. Thank you very much.
All right, we're looking good. Can we see ourselves? All right. Both of our nuts are so big. Well, how are we going to do this right now?
No, just screw over.
We're
Your left
Go
one's
there.
bigger than mine.
that's
so
good. If we switch it.
scoot over.
Everybody, welcome. This is my good friend and more than my good friend. This is somebody that I admire so greatly. And I like to start with the first time that I met Hypnotica. See, I met I met Hypnotica after having studied him. What is that in the way? Oh, here. I unplugged it or something. How do you do this? You can tell technology is my shit.
Put that right there. That'll
It needs to go in. Can you plug it in?
Oh,
Yeah, I did. I pulled it. The plug. Is it the plug right there?
plug.
There we go. See where's that?
what's in the
This. Look at the camera.
Oh, okay.
So something to move. That's what I was trying to fix it. Okay, there we go. So here's what happened. Okay, there I am. I've watched him. On video, and I've bought his stuff, and I've listened to him, and I've learned so much. And it's the first convention where they bring the top relationship coaches from all around the world. And there's only like a handful of people invited. It was in Hollywood. It was in Lowe's Hotel. Is that where we were?
Yeah.
Okay. And so this is my rookie year of being visible to the world. I've been doing it for a while, under Matador and Mystery and different guys like that, if you guys are aware, right? But now it's my turn to come out, because what they would do is they would online, worldwide, they would choose, the top coach of the year, rookie of the year, shit like that. And I had won rookie coach of the year and coach of the year, both that year. So I was invited for that, right? But I'm sitting there, we're outside, there's a crowd outside, it's a convention center, it's kind of a thing. And whoa, there's Hypnotica. And I get excited because I look up to him so much. It's the first time I'm gonna meet him. He's talking to some Oriental guy over there, and he's like looking at me, and a real intense look on his face. So I'm looking at him. I'm like, well, does he have a problem with me? Because I'm kind of loud on YouTube. I talk shit. We've never met. This guy's like the OG of this thing. I'm brand new. Like, who's this young cat coming up? And I'm like, maybe I'm just reading into this shit. But every time I look, it's just straight looking at me, and I move positions, looking at me. So I tell the guy that's with me, I go, hey man, I think Hypnotica has a problem with me, bro. I gotta get ready. So I start to take off my ring and put it in my pocket, check my pockets, if I have a knife, what's going on, like prepare myself, right? Like legit. Then he just keeps looking, he's not saying anything, he's talking, he's like, da, 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 then look, I look, he's doing that, and his face looks like this at times. And then he starts to walk towards me. I'm like, oh fuck, all right, well, let's go. And he comes out, he's like, yo, Rosh, I don't know what the fuck he said, however you said what the fuck he said, right? And I'm like, yeah, Hypnotica. And then he's like, I don't know what he said, I watched you or something, you know, some nice things.
What I said is, I said, Steve P and I have been teaching, and the masculinity, the direction that it was going, as far as what I saw, as far as masculinity, you weren't getting that dominant, like grounded masculine vibe that was at the time. And I just went up there, I said, I've seen your stuff, and I go, I appreciate you coming in at the time you did, because really the only other person that I thought was that had that good grounded essence was Steve P. And he's like ultra masculine. And then he's bad cop, I'm good cop. And I just said, I appreciate what you're doing, because we could use a little help on the front line.
And I'm like, oh man, you didn't want to fight me? He's like, fight me? He goes, what are you talking about? I was like, man, he goes, no, I was just saying, I want to come talk to you, so I was checking to see you're still over there. It's like, oh, that makes sense. So that's how we met. And then I've taught with, I've taught with everybody, like the greatest, and I tell you guys, if I have a sticking point in my life, wherever it is, if it's like a mental game or anything, if I reach out to a human being for wisdom, I call it Hypnotica. And normally it's about maybe 1 minute in the conversation where I'm out of my mess within 1 minute. It's about like hearing his voice and seeing the frequency that you're on. Okay, let's get started now with that.
It's the same lifestyle.
Mhm.
Like you live a very similar lifestyle to me. I've been through that, and so I know what's there is where it's a lot of coaches may say, hey, I've lived this way, but I've worked through it.
Yeah.
I've gone through the hard parts. I know what works. I know what doesn't work. I know that anyone that, it's funny because I get guys that say, oh, I want to live this lifestyle. I'm all, are you sure? Because it's not as easy as it looks, because we're doing stuff that's away from mainstream, and you're walking your own path. People, people are going to look down on you. They're going to say, talk shit about you. They're going to do all kinds of stuff. And so when I was through it, I just go, it's simple as this. Bam. And there it goes. And he's like, oh, thanks, man. I'm good.
And then the conversation becomes about some real dope shit after that. I call about, it's been a while, but I'm just letting you guys know, because if you know me, I don't have anybody to reach out to like that, because honestly, let's talk frank, let's be straight, and we always are, but there's levels. We censor a lot of times. People don't understand. But I don't really think there's anybody on the planet that could think as fast as me. Have you seen the scene with Silver Surfer and Johnny Storm in the beginning of Fantastic Four, where they're chasing each other?
But I know Silver Surfer.
All right, where the Silver Surfer goes through the sky, and everyone's like, what the fuck is that? And then Fantastic Four guy's like, Johnny. And he's like, oh man, I just bought the suit, flame off. And these fuckers chase each other. Right? One's made of fire, one's made of liquid metal with some shit, mercury, and they're going to the end. I think you're the only one that I can actually talk to at the right speed, right? And not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have a passenger in the car, I can just
There you go. Quick on the tongue.
Okay, people are here because they want to know about shit. They want to know about relationships. They're confused, they're broken. There's a lot of women on, their lives suck, terrible. A lot of guys on that pretend a bunch of shit. But I don't think they have any clue of what it feels like to live like a superhero like this.
Well,
is it real? Are we real?
I think the mentality is real. As far as that, we're real.
That's what I'm saying.
And it can be a real pain in the ass as far as that goes, because you're going, like I said, you're moving out of what's normal. And as a real coach, someone who pushes themselves, like I've gone through different phases. In the beginning, there was no guys that I could look up to. I had to go work in strip clubs for basically 27 years, back to back in the morning and the night, developing that. I had to go where I needed to go to develop my skills in that. And you have to develop your skills or you'll get eaten up. So I always laugh when guys are like, oh man, it's going to take so long. I'm like, man, it took me 7 years to feel like I had some kind of grasp of somewhere that I felt like I had a good stance on even understanding this, because men, women relationships, it's like getting a regular schooling. for a BA, man, you gotta study at least 4 years if you really want to understand women in a healthy way. You know, not just go in there and just, you know, do your thing and take off.
Did you go in a healthy way?
I go in healthy ways all the time. Matter of fact, what do you see?
Oh, let me see. Wow, that's great. Hold on a second. You got somebody on.
That's that guy right there getting yelled at.
He's not, he's watching TV. He's watching TV.
Yeah.
I think he's watching TV. He's like, I'm gonna put these guys in the background.
There's an aspect, and I put on my phone something I was trying to really understand. And Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro have a dialogue about Jesus.
I've seen it.
Fucking amazing.
It's so good.
It's amazing.
It's
And
that Silver Surfer fucking John.
it's amazing, and he talks about what it is to go through. And if any of my students, because everyone know I took a hiatus, not a hiatus, but I went deep into my own laboratory.
Ooh, listen to this.
So if you see like on Facebook, you see I go to the extreme, so you don't have to. And this ties into the Jordan Peterson conversation because I was living life. I have a life. I'm business thriving worldwide, parties, everything is going good. I could have stepped and been selfish in that and just said, cool. But I started to see the suffering in the world through drugs. And I've done every drug there is. You can bet I've done DMT 240 times.
I think that's the second thing you said to me after I watched your videos.
Yeah.
You said, have you done DMT? You gotta do it with me.
I am kicked out of that room.
Yeah, you told me to.
Yeah.
You said you haven't been to the underworld.
You can even search right now, scariest DMT trip ever, Hypnotica, and read about that. It scared the shit out of me because, like Terrence McKenna said, if you get the call, that's all you need. You don't need to keep coming back. It's like, oh, you're gonna come back again, you don't get it yet, stomp. And I'm not a fearful guy, but it scared the shit out of me. So
yeah,
be wary. The reason why I brought this up is not only did I go through that sacrifice learning stuff, because back in the day, there wasn't anyone to learn through. It was taboo, men teaching men, it was something that was looked down upon. You're misogynistic, or if you do that, if you're looking to better or educate yourself, then you're an asshole. You should just go do your thing. That's not true. Okay? This is an education, and there's a lot right, and there's a lot wrong. There's a lot of bad coaches out there. There's a lot of shitty coaches out there. But we were before the game. I'm not saying the game was wrong. It was flawed from the beginning. Okay, before that, we were doing the poetic movement. That's men helping men. Pickup artists came in, and next thing you know, they're like, it's like now it's a competition. It's about getting women. It's objectifying it. And then Dave D'Angelo, Neil Strauss, they made a lot of money. People thinking getting famous. So Tom, Dick, and Harry came in, and this is right around the time when you came in. And I was just looking at people going, I don't think this guy's ever been laid, but he's teaching shit that's just wrong, giving bad information, which I consider an insult, because we're in a very rare situation. Because if you really look at the statistics, men over the age, I think it's 40 or maybe more, have a 25% more chance of suicide.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the opportunity, like a woman, and I say this all the time, women don't like it, but for getting laid for a man's a chore, getting laid for a woman's a choice. And so a man has to go out there, and I say to women all the time, I have debates with them all the time. It's a lot different. It's like the difference between being a fisherman who's up in Alaska. That's a fisherman. He's got to know his life's on the line, and he's got to keep his skills up. And if he doesn't keep his skills up, when the weather shifts and he's not skilled up, boom, off the boat he goes. He's done, eaten, swallowed by the ocean. A woman, it's more of like a fish farm. There are thousands of fishes. Throw it out there and boom, hey, look at that. And so the ability to have more choices and to be a masculine man, like for one, she just really needs to show up in all reality. She just has to make the choice of who's probably the most healthy guy for her in all reality. Well, man, you got to be charismatic. You better have a sense of humor. You better have your skills. And I think that's the reason why a lot of men are always flirting and stuff like this, because they know on a deep unconscious level, they got to keep their skills up. Because I've run into way too many men who've killed, some of them have killed themselves, that never got the help. They never thought that there was a way to do it. And there's lots of that it did. So you have to keep your skills up, because shit changes. I get so many guys that have been married for 26 years, 30 years, divorce, or the wife dies or something like this. They're fucking lost.
Bro, even after, before and after COVID, the game is different.
Everything's different.
Now it's a whole different game.
It's a whole
There was
different
now there's the OnlyFans and Instagram and all that, right?
Yeah.
So a girl has a billion times.
Billion choices, and that's why I retired out of the strip club business.
Mhm.
Because what I really enjoyed was the women were fun, you know, they entertained. It's like the strip club is a safe place for man to develop his skills, to be able to talk with a woman, because in this day and age, hey, you can't look at a girl wrong. You know, it's a creep, he's this, he's that. It's like the whole pound me movement, or the whatever.
Me too, and fuck you and all
Well,
that
it's
shit.
like Tandy, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of odd. You know, that's language, that's the trippy things about language. But when you really like look down and you understand it, that level of going back and going through the fire
Mhm,
and knowing, hey, you know what, I'm not good at this, I gotta suck it up, I gotta learn it.
mhm.
And the reason why I get so pissed off, I'm gonna cycle back and close that loop, is that because a man may have one choice to get a good coach. And if he goes to a coach that sucks and he thinks this is it, and he still sucks, he's gonna lose all hope, he's gonna give up and be lonely.
Mhm.
And who knows?
That coach is a fucking liar. He's a coward. I go after these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Since the first day of the game, I go after. Now, especially, because now, like you said, people are actually suffering. You and I can literally feel men suffering,
Yeah.
and women.
Yeah.
I know that. We're very similar, everybody. It's just kind of trippy, you know?
Both Aquariuses.
Yeah, there's a lot of Aquariuses.
Yeah.
They can't do this shit.
Yeah.
It's like you said, we've achieved a certain level of life, that life every single day accumulates so much experience points of living, that to me, I feel like, you know, add all the relationships you've been in, all the women you've been in, okay? And just think how many lifetimes it takes an average man to reach where you are right now, if you went no more.
Yeah.
Literally lifetimes, right? We're talking, you know, we're not talking 2 or 3 lifetimes. We're talking hundreds of, it's a vampire
And
status.
here's the thing, it's odd. I feel like I've had so much experience that it doesn't even affect me anymore. And I don't mean that I'm not interested in it. I mean, the level of motivation is still there. But because I feel like, and this is a very deep thought, and it's counterintuitive to a degree, and it's paradoxical, that I don't even like, I feel like satisfied. Like I feel like in Rocky, you know, that basement that's deep in your basement, it's satisfied. I've been there, I've done that, and I think how many men have satisfied that because they got it out.
Mhm.
Like I am completely satisfied. I have found a peace. I don't have to feel like I proved myself with validation in society. Like I've been there, done that. It's not even an issue for me.
Now you can live. Now you can finally live.
You live peacefully without the, and not that I want to have a good time before, but it's another layer when you get it. And it's a deeper layer. And that's when I decided to go in and really go deep into this next realm of helping and stuff like this. And I also tell guys, think of it like this, you know, because I'm big on metaphors and hypnotic language and storytelling. A good coach is like going into the store and getting a jigsaw puzzle. New. You know all the pieces are there. You know it's been there, it's tried and true and tested. You're going to have all the pieces. You're going to be able to get the big picture. And every person that's in that is a real coach. I consider a real coach and not some fly-by seagull coach that flew in, get their money and flew out and is no longer here anymore. Like these are tried and true coaches, and there's a lot of them around. You know, you got Zan, you got Brent, you have Johnny Soprano, you have Steve Pickett, you have Raj, you have spacing on your name right now. God darn it, I can't. I won't let it go. So don't worry, I'll come back to you. You know, you got to put your name in there right now because it's pissing me off. Who does Adam?
I've only heard of Rock. He was on Hypnotica.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
That's all I get.
No, who you
Dan, Johnny, Brent.
I don't know what to I really have no idea.
I am spaced on him. I just talked about it on this post. I don't know why I'm having a brain fart.
It'll come back.
But anyways, it's the difference between knowing that each coach that is in there that I'll refer to and say, each coach is going to have their strength. They're going to have their weaknesses. I have my weaknesses. I have my strengths. I may not have all the answers. I have most of the answers, I think, for what's important to me. But I'm gonna go, hey, over here. But you know you're gonna get the full jigsaw puzzle when the pieces all click together. It's gonna be a hell of a lot faster than it was when we started, because it took me forever.
You were the first generation.
It was like there was nothing.
First generation. I'm like generation
Yeah.
3, I think.
First generation, like nothing there. It was like we had to figure it out ourselves. So they get
Yeah.
the guy, oh man, I gotta study for it. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You know, we didn't have coaches, we didn't have shit. We had to figure out, I had to put myself in situations in strip clubs, I had to become a stripper because I had to, you know, just witness it and be there, throw myself in the
Accumulate the
fire
experience points.
and forge myself. And so the fake coach, which pisses me off because I consider it life threatening to a degree, is like going to a thrift store and buying a jigsaw puzzle. You're taking a guess. You're hoping that all the pieces are going to be there. Usually they're not. And you try to put it all together, but it just doesn't work. So you don't get the big picture. So it doesn't click. And then you're left with something desirable that you haven't studied or you're missing, and then you maybe just give up.
I never got a jigsaw puzzle at the fucking thrift store. They're always missing pieces.
Well, yeah.
I
I get them all the time.
Really? They're literally missing pieces.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like you're not metaphoric. You're actually saying.
No, I'm.
That's what you guys get
How
down.
many people have ever bought a jigsaw puzzle and it's like one short and it pisses you off? You know, so you basically learn how
Hell
to
yeah.
cut cardboard and draw, you know, which is a big part of it, which comes back to, you know, I have it all marked up, the Jordan Peterson conversation.
Yeah.
Because like I did a huge experiment and I didn't tell people, matter of fact, I might even get choked up on saying this next part because when I went in, my cross that I saw to bear was a lot of my friends fucking dying, a lot of my friends ruining their lives on drugs. I went out there to deconstruct because I believe that I could go deeper than anyone in this realm because I trust my judgment, I trust what I know to bring back something that's worthwhile to humanity. And so I thought I was going to be in and out, you know, so I went deep into the world of methamphetamine. And I went deep in and I charted this. I have a documentary called What a Meth/Mess.
Nice.
And I've been working on it. And at first it was like, I went in, my wife was pissed because she said, I thought you were going to go in there. And I took it so far. I called you like a couple times. Like, I was like, you know, I'm coming back out. And people would be like, you're addicted to going back in. Well, I didn't realize how deep that realm is. And I'd be like, fucking tweakers, that's how I used to be before. I get it. The first time I came down and came off of it, shit scared the fuck out of me. Lost all my vision as far as like what was important to me. Fucking felt like void, empty. And I was like, okay, there's more to learn here. I'm not gonna let fear go in there. So I apologize because this has been a big experiment to a point. I started all the business stuff and I documented, and this is my own sacrifice. This is me bearing the cross, so to speak, of what Christ did. Bearing the cross because you see the evil in the world. I see it out there. I take it upon myself to be responsible enough to go out there and fix it and find something to bring back to humanity, which is what it is, which tested me indirectly, even deeper than I had gone before, which just developed me far beyond I would have, because I could have been fine and dandy, fucking partying, when I was 12, partying, everything is good, ignoring it. But I didn't ignore it. And I what thought was going to be a quick little experiment here and pop in and out became deeper and deeper and deeper, where guys were like, oh man, you know, you're just not addicted because you didn't shoot it. I ended up shooting fucking 60 cc's 3 times a day. Boom. I have documentation of it. I'm charting my heartbeat. I'm watching my blood pressure go up.
I'm going to say something here. Listen, some of you have missed what's happening. He took it upon himself for the sake of his friends to dive deep into the world of meth, to chart a pathway out for his friends. And when he got there, it was much deeper than he ever thought it ever would be. And so now he's being challenged by his friends saying, you're not shooting it, whatever. And then he's taking it to the extreme because that's what he does. Okay. Not that you didn't say that. No. I just know my audience and I know the language, right?
Yeah. And it was like, these are the guys that were addicted to it, that used it as the excuse. So, I mean, I got to the point where the dudes that were the most drug addicted were like, hey, bro, you might want to slow down. You're doing this. I'm all fucking, let's just take it. Let's go. And I'd get to the point where I was thinking to myself, fucked up. Like I fucked up. I watched my business drop. I watched my responses to my customers or my students drop. And I had to sit there and watch it because I knew that I couldn't give up the secret of my experiment because it would blow the whole fucking case and I wouldn't get the real reactions from people. Mm-hmm. And so like a point of me, there's a friend of mine, I'll probably get choked up because it's you know, like a good friend of mine in high school lost his kid. And And I didn't go to his son's funeral, and Steve, I apologize, and this is the reason. Because I was the strength in that group. And for me to show up and disrespect his son or that in a state of using meth and going there all fucked up and off my mind and shit like that was disrespectful. And I wouldn't offer that to the spiritual realm. And so I ignored it. I did not show. I did some stuff on the background because they were building money. And so I sent this whole thing. I did a post and ended up getting everyone on board, was raised 54,000, probably more for him. But I still haven't seen him because I didn't want any of my friends to go, there's Eric, the strength. Holy shit. If he's fucking given up, if he's fucking let go, if he's fucking settled into it, we're fucked. Because I was the strength, I was the protector. And I didn't want to put that on anyone thinking, shit, man, because life was getting tough. It was through COVID, shit was tough for everybody. And so, like, to me, it was shameful, but at the same time, I did not want anyone that I knew to see me in that state of mind for them to lose faith. And it hurt. And I'm still gonna have to have that conversation, and I'm still gonna have to show up and deal with that. But that's part of the suffering of bearing the weight of the cross, so to speak. And there's a lot more. My students, where I fucking dropped off some of the things that I was doing, dropped the ball. Because I had to know, because I was going deeper and I was losing my mind further and further and further to the point where I was thinking like, fuck, I fucked up.
Were you conscious that you're losing your mind?
Yeah, I was
So
like,
how could one be losing their mind if they're conscious of losing their mind? I
Well,
don't get that.
because on one level, I'm fucking shit up. I can't get shit done. I'm fucking dropping the ball.
So you're observing that.
I'm observing. I call it impulse pursuing.
Uh-huh.
I literally went off of every impulse that a person would do, still being meta to that, but not judging it, just going through the action.
Explain to them being meta to
So
them.
being meta means being one step back. I'm observing myself of what a normal person would do because I'm stepping back from my conscious. I'm not judging it, and I'm going for everything that I think a person would do. To the point where I'm fucking breaking because I was fucking losing my money, losing my mind, losing everything, to the point where I back up to the point where I was doing some fucking, like, some breaking shit on some high level stuff, where I was doing stuff, documenting it, going, this is how you talk yourself into doing shit that's not right, because it trains your fucking brain. And it flips your brain, and it's the devil in that going, here, let me trick you out. I have documentation, like, my whole plan is to do that. If I got arrested, I got arrested. Because, why? Because it's the impulse pursuing that I did. That's going to tie into the documentary. And it starts like this. I was tired of my friends dying, so I had to die myself. Boom, needle in the arm. Then it goes into the song Impulse Pursuing, which is about drug addiction, and going like this. Now, it's really rough for me to sit there and watch people go, hey man, what the fuck? Like, you didn't follow through on this, or you didn't do this, or you didn't do this. And sit back and go, I can't come out of this for what other people think. My wife thinking, you said you were gonna come off this way. 1 year later, I'm still on it going, because I can't tell them, well, I came back out, went back in, there was fear, came back in, learned how to fucking go through and do my experiments and figure out, okay, how do you get a person out of this? I have a protocol right now that I'll be releasing, and I'm doing a documentary on it, and I'm probably just do one where it just comes out and gives them the solution to the answers. Came in and fucking mapped everything out to there's no come down whatsoever. 2 days of a little grumpy. And this is a protocol, and my whole reason for this protocol is because, hey, I don't have all the answers. I don't pretend to have all the answers, but let's get the conversation started so that professionals can come in and do this. And so my protocol, and I'll just say it right now, one of my protocols, besides all the other things that I did to raise the dopamine levels, like ice bath, you spend 5 minutes in an ice bath, your dopamine levels shoot up to 300%. You spend like 12 minutes in an ice bath, 1,700%, and a lot of the other chemicals that are going through your body. You have that. You have, what else is it going to take? Exercise. That brings your dopamine levels up. So I've mapped all this shit out in every single area. What your L-tyrosine, you're going to need the serotonin. You're going to have to go with the gut flora to rebuild that. How do you rebuild this? And this was my protocol. I figured the easiest way to come out, and I wouldn't say it's not the most legal way, but it's a way that I went through. First way, you want to come off a fucking net, you got to plan for it. Just the way it is. You can't usually just come off it. You got to plan for it, and you got to make sure there's time, because I get the trap now. Before tweakers, I understand when you're coming down for the first time, you're so fucking tired, you can't do shit, and that's the hook. That's the devil going, gotcha. Because you say you have kids, say you have to work. There's no way you're going to pull through that. There's no way whatsoever you're gonna pull through that and make it without going, you know what, let me just do another hit. And that's the cycle, and that cycle keeps going and going and going. So my protocol would be like this: first day, if you can get your hands on Adderall, do an Adderall. Adderall will get the energy going, so you're still there. Second day, half an Adderall, one modafinil. Modafinil is a nootropic, it's a smart drug. From there, one modafinil, start jacking up the caffeine. From there, if you start feeling it, now I've had access to GHB, hey, that brought my mood up quickly. Then I'd go to saffron, and saffron, if you haven't done it, it's one of the more powerful ways to come off of depression. It's a wonderful way to come off it. You have SAMe. SAMe is another drug, not a drug, but it's a supplement you could take. And it just mapped it out across the board. And I'll probably just put the entire recipe that I found. There's no come down. And so I even reached out to, I'm sure you know, Andrew Huberman. I sent a letter. Hey, I'm the guinea pig here, man, but I'm lacking the data. I want to see how much dopamine is released. How much does it affect me? When I get in the ice bath, you know this, I didn't hear the response back from them. I went, you know, down to the Hippocrates Center, Brian Clement, you know, I sent a message to them. I don't know if they ever got it or not, if they've ever seen it, but I put it out there because it was important enough to me to let the professionals from this point on know that I found a protocol to bring back to help people get off the drug and to do this. So during that entire time, it's tough because I'd come in, then I'd go back out, and I'd think I have it, then I'd go back in, and I'm like, okay, so that's how.
Do you remember going back in? Was it like, oh fuck, I'm losing my like you could feel it being drawn? You gave in to it?
No, I didn't give into it. I said, okay, this sounds crazy. I didn't feel like I tested. I didn't feel like I went. So and at the time, I would.
Do you think that was a justification? Or was that the truth?
No, it was absolutely the truth. I felt it didn't test me hard enough.
That's what I'm saying.
And I felt that I didn't go far enough to scare them. And don't get me wrong, it was scary, but to the point where I felt I fucked up seriously. I'm not coming back. And I got to the point where I felt mentally incapacitated. I couldn't even get shit done. And at that point, when I couldn't, my senses were short. I know my vocabulary is still coming back a little bit. I lost my recall. I lost a lot of shit. Well, you know, I would be like, you're what the fuck, you know? And I mean, I'm gonna show you something. I took it so far that I lost the fucking teeth right here.
Oh, I lost them.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I went that far. I kept on doing it. My body, I had lesions on my body that wouldn't heal for 6 months. Like I went full extreme. If I showed you a picture of what as a matter of fact, I'll bring it up right now. And the reason I'm saying this is because every man, if this world's gonna get better, it's gonna bear the cross. You know, and that's come from Christian theology and things like this. And matter of fact, I hope we can get this. I'm gonna play this just to understand what you have to go through. Is there Wi-Fi on this thing? Okay, let's see. Listen to this intro, okay? Hopefully that it will pick it up. Fucking fascinating. If you can watch it, go Jordan Peterson confronts Ben Shapiro about Jesus.
This is where I think we could have an interesting conversation about the relationship between Judaism and Christianity. So there's an idea in Christianity, which is I think the central idea, which is that you need to face the potential for malevolence that exists within you and in the world. So that's Christ's confrontation with the devil in the desert, with Satan in the desert. You have to come to terms with that malevolence. That's part of existence. And you have to voluntarily accept the burden of suffering. And so that's the acceptance of the cross. Okay, so you take on that, you say the suffering. So there's an idea that Christ is a messianic figure because he took the suffering of the world onto himself. And what that means to me is that he was someone, speaking conceptually, who decided that the suffering of the world was his responsibility, and that that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to decide that that's your responsibility. You take that on as a burden. You do the same with the malevolence. So when you read history as a perpetrator, right? Maybe you also read it as a victim, but you certainly read it as a perpetrator. And then that's on you. Okay, so then the question is, what happens when you do that? And I would say the answer is two things, is that, first of all, it starts to force you to develop, like to learn what you need to learn in the world and to absorb the information that would enable you to start to face the suffering and to rectify it. So that forces you to become a more competent person. And that's the socialization part that you thought of as so important. But then there's a secondary thing that happens too, which is that taking on that additional stress and demand voluntarily transforms you biologically, because within your genetic structure, let's say. There's all sorts of potential. But that won't be unlocked unless you place yourself in a position where the demands necessitate it. And so by following that pathway, truth, let's say, the acceptance of suffering and the confrontation with malevolence, so that's the heaviest load that you could take on, then you actually produce a psychophysiological / spiritual transformation in yourself that matures you into like the representation of the Father on earth. That's how that lays itself out.
And that's it. And everyone, you can skirt it, you can get around it, you can try to pretend it doesn't exist. But if you're gonna go to that level, because I was on top of the world, man, I thought my fucking golden enlightened, I've had all my experiences. And when COVID hit, I'm like, fuck. I said, I have one more chance to go deep, like as deep as I can, as deep as I can imagine. And I'd come out and then I'd say, I would assess things, see my brain come back, I'd build my brain back up to realize, okay, cool. I could come back through fasting, green juices, and usually within 5 days, I'd be looking in the mirror. I'm like, there's the fucking wild man. He's coming back. But I didn't want to see people. I didn't want to look at people. I didn't fucking feel sexy. I didn't feel confident. Okay, now I am the guy known for confidence. I got to the point where I lost all bits of confidence. I didn't work out. I ate straight fucking sugar. I ate everything to get myself to the point where I had no confidence anymore. Worse than it was before. And that was when I'm thinking, shit, man, I'm at this level. Like, fuck, what am I gonna do? So I fucking went in again, even deeper, you know, to the point where people are like, well, why now? I'm like, because the people that I was in with that I was teaching relapsed. And I'm not gonna let people relapse and not know why to not know it. Yeah, I told people, hey, I'm gonna be back out here and this thing, but you can't, when you're fighting a dragon, you've never fought a dragon before, you can't say, hey, fucking 1 month later, I'll be back. Okay, this dragon dragged me around, dropped me, and self-induced.
The dragon I fought was me dragging my nuts on her face.
Well, you know, as long as they like it, you know, I'm sure he.
That's the last
I'm sure
dragon.
he didn't appreciate it.
The
but-
last dragon I faced was dragging my nuts on her face.
Okay, her face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I said her face, yeah.
Well, I thought you said it's their face.
Oh, I assume women.
So,
but I said,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I wanna make
I'm not in
sure.
California anymore.
I
I'm
am.
in Vegas. Oh, that's right. You're thinking like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little different here.
Yeah,
It's cool.
you'll
Cool.
get used to
Well,
it. So.
let's ask some questions.
Well, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Well, so the bottom line of that, and then I went back in, went back out, went back in. Finally, you know, people are fucking, I'm watching sales go to zero. I'm watching my fucking, my consultations go to zero. I'm watching all my money go boom. And there's nothing I can do about it because, you know, people are going, hey, dude, you're fucked up. And I'm thinking, I haven't gone deep enough yet. You know, I don't like, I haven't got to the point where I'm in the abyss. And then I got to that point.
How did you know? This is my question. I questions are about this. How do you know when it was the abyss?
Because everything, and this is crazy, for the entire time that was happening, every week, one thing after another, fucking lost Denver, lost my entire team, lost this fucking thing, everything was just negative. One negative after another negative, just getting fucking stomped on every week, just getting stomped on and going, fuck, okay, man, but not giving into it and rising from it. And then finally it was like, okay, I'm so fucked up and it's really hard to like figure this out because I have to come back and be strong and do this. And the pressure from saying what you said, because like you say, hey, you're good reward, hey, you're promising a lot of things. Fuck, man, I'm sorry, I'm fucking fighting a dragon, dude, that I doubt anyone else would. I'll put my line in. The reason why I felt that was my duty is because I am confident. I believe in myself. I believe that my skills and knowledge and linguistics and semantics and what I know about the body and health is no one else is going to do it.
Top notch.
I don't see Anthony Robbins. I don't see any of those coaches going through 4 years of doing math, shooting it up, coming out on top like I did. And that's how I feel about it. There's no one else on this planet that's going to do that. So that's your burden. And to the point
That's your cross.
that's my cross.
Mhm.
And I bared it and it fucking, and that's it. But where I thought that I couldn't develop myself anymore, I redid it next level, you know, even deeper. The first level was me with women. Oh, fuck, you know, and then I got it. COVID came and fucking next level, whole nother level. You know, tried fentanyl, did all that shit. 50% of the people that are in my documentary are dead.
Dang.
Okay, my good friends dead, more of them. shooting up, talking about how Eric's cool, Eric will believe in me, and anytime I want to come over and get off of the shit, you know, he will accept me dead.
Wow.
Okay, another person, that a good friend of mine who's working on my house, dead.
Did you
50% of it dead.
Do you see any of them die?
No, I have a bunch of Narcan in the house and shit like that just in case.
Mhm.
Dead.
Yeah.
People that were like, no man, I'm almost there, dead.
Wow.
And so
That's heavy, dude.
it is heavy.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where now that I feel like I'm going for the next level, like all I want to do is say, you're the professionals, you're the fucking researchers. Here's the beginning. Let's get the conversation started. I'm done with this.
Mhm.
You know, I'm done with this. I gotta rebuild everything. And that's which is funny, because finally you really realize how much habits affect your life. You know, one habit builds on another, and they say, you know, either our habits are gonna bind you or they're gonna fucking build you. And when I stopped working out, I stopped eating good, I stopped studying, I stopped everything. I went down to ground zero and watched Superhuman over here, starting this thing on top of the world, understanding everything. How long did it take me to get to ground zero? About 3.5 years. And that's me. Okay, that's me. I trust myself. Okay, 3.5 years, fucking boom, wow. Fuck, man, that's gnarly. You know, and not one person around me, okay, wife, everyone was, everyone did not believe in me on that.
Has anybody ever believed in you in the past?
Yeah.
Before you made it?
No.
People don't believe in it.
It was just, matter of fact, I spent fucking 3 years on a fucking pond in front of my house. You know, I was out there with miners like working all night long, all fucking jacked up on meth. But I was taking care of the neighborhood. I've broken up home invasions. I've saved people lives. You know, they're like, well, you're fucking middle of the century, but you know, do watch the neighborhood. You know, and watch people laugh every day. I fucking go out there and not like it, break it down, it would leak for a year. And everyone's going, oh, you know, they're laughing at you and you got a big mess. And I go, I don't give a fuck. I will fail faster forward. I want to fail because if you don't fail, you don't learn.
That's right.
And the more you fucking fail, the more you learn. To the point where you become a master at what not to do, and then you start getting pretty good.
How do you handle, this is something that everybody comes across, okay, especially doing this art form. How do you deal with your doubts, insecurities, and fears and taking a step forward? I mean, I know for you, this is saying, how do you step over an edge? But what is the language you use? What is the belief system you use? How can someone get better at that? Just not fucking with that anymore. You know what I mean?
Can't, first of all, you can't listen to anybody.
But how do they do that? Because, you know, like I get that, but it's one another to get that.
Okay. Being that I understand, I don't think people have motivation problems.
No.
I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I don't think they have motivation problems. I don't think that they are not motivated, that they don't have visions or dreams. I think we have a fucking energy deficiency in the body.
There you go.
Okay.
And we know that.
That we don't know how to establish nutrition.
Yep.
When I first time I did meth, I was fucking like, whoa, fuck, man. I am getting crack. Okay, because I was like, I heard this is really addictive, you know? And I was like, this is it, fuck. You know, and that was like maybe, I don't know, 3 months ago. Okay. And I was like, okay, well, fuck, okay, well, what else? Because in my book it said things I will never do. I'll never do heroin, fucking methamphetamine, and crack was just like, that's so dumb.
My book says things I will never do. I will never say I will never do that.
Well, and so, but that's where the fear is like, what am I running away from? Why? How to test myself? Did it all, and I was like, okay, that was interesting. So, but when I went first into it, I remember the first words that came out of my mouth when I did big, long fucking hot rail, fucking just, you know, and everyone's looking at me, and they're like, how do you feel? I'm like, looking around, I'm like, I don't know, I don't really feel much. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And well, maybe you just didn't do more. Oh, like this.
Well, that's some good advice.
And then I'm like, then I just look around and I go, are you fucking kidding me? This is what you guys are all addicted to? I know what real health feels like. Because when I do the green juices, I'm doing live food and I'm getting the bioenergetics and all that just siphoned right into your body, because it's not the food you eat, it's the food you absorb. And when you're not eating right and you have, you know, you're eating sugars and you're eating steak with starches, a base in the stomach, and then you're releasing a base and releasing acid. It goes in your stomach, it just sits there because the base cancels out the acid. Your digestive enzymes aren't fucking sucking up anything. You're malnourished. Green drinks, you know, the first 15 minutes you cut something from the source. You know, I say this a lot. You know, you're losing the bioenergetics, the life force of the plant blood, which is the most powerful thing there. Like wheatgrass is 90 hertz, you know, a human body and healthy is like 75 hertz. Cancer starts to develop right around 50 hertz, you know, and for our body, all of a sudden I'm going, And I look around, I'm like, I felt my energy drop because I know what real health is. And I was like, what the fuck? And then that's when I stopped everything. And then all of a sudden I was like, waking up every day, fucking hitting it, fucking jacking it in the system to the point where I lost it. Then I became addicted to it because I'm like, man, I got fucking shit to do. And maybe the first time you did it, I mean, literally the most I went 5 days straight, no sleeping.
Wow.
And that was amazing to me because I was like, fucking wow, man. Like I was blown away by how much your body can go through. Now my body took a turn. I mean, if I look at this is how my body did not heal. Like I went to the hot, it was like 1 week after boils and shit like this. And I mean, I'll even like this is my hand. My hand would not fucking heal. And it was horrible. But let me show a picture of this. This looks like Sydow, Sydow. Of course, it's not right there when I see it. Here. Okay, check this out.
Yeah.
Where's that thing?
Right, yeah.
There. I don't know if they can see that. It's actually, see that?
Yeah.
Okay, that was my hand when it got infected. Didn't heal. Fucking black. Okay, right here. Look at that one. Here's a good one.
Oh.
Okay. Fucking lesions on my body going like this. And
The one they're not feeling sexy is disgusting.
well,
Right?
well, the finger needed a condom. It was actually big. It hurt, but you know, no, it was like, I went the distance, man. And
You did.
And so now, and it's crazy because when you think you've hit the level of attainment of like enlightenment or whatever it is, and then you challenge yourself at that level, I mean, the bar is set pretty high. And so now it's like what exactly we was talking about. What's activated is the father energy, like the Christ energy. And I'm not saying that to be like woo-woo. I'm saying like coming out of this, and I'm maybe 60% full on rock and roll, you know. But when I get back into the full live food eating to close that loop, you know, the bioenergetics of it, the first 15 minutes that you fucking cut a plant, you lose the hope. Remember this acronym. The most important things that are in a plant: your hormones, your phytochemicals, your hormones, your oxygen, your phytochemicals, and your enzymes. 15 minutes after that, gone. Okay, that's where the fucking magic is. After that, it starts diminishing. You know, your vitamins are diminishing at a rapid pace. Your minerals are there for a little bit, but that diminishes everything. Most people eat are processed food. You're using enzymes from your body to digest the food. When all the enzymes, all the health stuff is in there, when it's live, it just goes right in. The body absorbs it.
How much, you know, we just got into it about 3-4 months ago, I think. Biohacking, you heard of biohacking?
No. What is that?
You know, one thing I realized, one of the first things I realized is that there are, well, I mean, unless like you fell down and you broke your brain or something, all the mental problems were lack of nutrition.
Absolutely.
And people don't get, and I just want everybody knows, I was like, and I didn't have any more once I started eating right, literally. What
was that? I know it's it's not niacin. It may be niacin. It's a riboflavin. If that was riboflavin, where you start people taking it and you know their mental problems are disappearing.
It's amazing, right? Because so many people are just malnutrition on so many levels. We're not even talking about sunlight too. We're talking about, you know, better water. It's a whole sequence of events. It's an ecosystem. You know what I mean?
It's nature.
Exactly. And as each piece goes in, your mood elevates, your energy elevates, and then that's exactly what you said. It's like then when you grab a Cheetos or whatever the fuck you do, you can feel the emptiness of what you're putting in versus the life force that you're eating. It's literally life eating life.
And a lot of times it's a coping mechanism that I found. Like, does anyone know what the study is of? There is a quit day. As far as the numbers, there is a quit day, a data-based quit day that most people give up.
Yeah, go ahead. Just that person was trying to say that. The person was trying to say. So you got the question? No, you got the that's fine.
Running around, got fucking right on the side. I told you, like I'm running around, I start talking, and I'm like, Jesus, you fucking foaming at the mouth. Jesus, I'm in Vegas. Fucking rabbit.
Hey, listen, I'm trying to be discreet.
Yeah. I don't care, man. Like, fucking get up here and start talking to yourself.
Right?
I have no shame.
He's got, I know, he's got, I'm trying to show you the character. He's got a little white on the side of his mouth, right? And look at me, I don't want that shit spitting on me, so I'm in fire. Hey, bro, your battery's gonna die on this, right? So I'm like, fuck, I gotta do dodge that shit if it comes up. So I put the note
Just the
here.
battery running low over here, just
Yo, Chris, the battery, it's gonna die. Hold on.
I don't care. It's,
What
you
are you
know,
doing over there? Go ahead, anyways.
it's usually what I do when one grows up.
That's in case any of you give so many fucks what people think.
Yeah.
The freedom achieved from that allows many gates, there's so many stargates to go through, right? And that's one of those major gates is that.
No, you don't give a shit.
Thank you.
Don't give a fucking shit.
And-
I like to my wife all the time. I don't give a fucking shit. We have arguments and shit, like, because I'm out there and neighbors are going by and they're now betting in the neighborhood. Am I gonna fucking ever get this thing done? And then all of a sudden, it's done. Fucking now I'm a pretty good fucking person who can make a Zen garden triple stack waterfall water feature. Now everyone's stopping going, hey, you know, where do you get these plants from? And that looks amazing. And I'm like, that was usually just them laughing at me. You know, and I said, tell you what, this is gonna happen. We're gonna go to my wife and I say, you know what's gonna happen? All the fucking yap, I call them the peanut gallery, are gonna be over there, they're laughing, they're fucking making fun of me and shit like this. I'm out there fucking ripping it down, things are leaking, don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Building it one week, ripping it down the next day. And I said, when it's done, I'm gonna have a beautiful fucking garden and they ain't gonna have shit. So I don't give a fuck. And I'd be, I don't, I would be sitting here like this, because she'd be going, well, I don't get, we get some pretty good fucking things. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And it's not that I don't give a fuck, it's that I just don't care what other people's opinions are. I give so much
Talks about something
fucks
else.
about what I think and what I believe, that's overruns everything. So it's not giving a fuck, because I give a fuck about doing what I want to do
Dang.
in a way where I'm not worried about fear, failure, or any of that shit like that, or red, green foam coming out my fucking mouth, you know, any of that shit.
Yeah. So, oh wait, but there was a question. The idea was fear stops people, right?
Okay.
So much, right? So when you know, I can see your relationship with fear. You know, fear is a little, fear is this little guy that runs around the neighborhood of your block, and you know him, and every once in a while you walk out and fear sees you.
I am afraid of fear.
You're not, or you are?
I am. I am afraid of
Being
fear
afraid.
for what fear does to a person's life.
Are you afraid of being afraid or not? If fear
No,
starts to
no,
creep up.
not at all.
Okay, so my question is, fear starts to creep up in your system.
Yeah.
What do you do?
If fear starts creeping up in my system,
Yeah.
at first I want to get to know it.
Okay, can you explain that?
Yeah, so get to know it. Like I want to understand what it's doing, what's my thinking, and you know, how am I processing it? What are my beliefs about it? And then I'm gonna either break it down. I mean, you can try to analyze shit. You can analyze stuff to a degree, and you can get to the point. But the real fucking get down dirty is when you're digging in and you're confronting it, battling straight on. You know, like I'm afraid of what people think. You know, like back in the game. What did I learn to do? Like in the game, and everyone kind of did their own thing on it. But back in the day when there was nothing. There wasn't even internet really. I'm walking through downtown. What did I give a shit about people? What they worried, what they thought about me? It was like I give a fuck back then. Like I was changing my outfit, like, oh, how do I look? And looking for external validation. That's when I'm like fucking put on a dress, dildo on the head. What am I most fearful of? What do I most fear? You know, oh, I'm gay, I'm this and that, like everything I can do. How can I put it all together in a package and deal with it? And there's no getting around that. If you're going to confront us head on, you can talk your way out. You can use semantics. You can do all kinds of shit to reframe your way out of it.
So bottom line is face it.
Face it.
Get to know it.
Dominate it.
How?
Because fear is just lack of understanding of what you don't yet know.
There you go. That was a good one.
You know, it's what you don't yet know. Like, think about this. Like, there's hundreds of things that we don't know, like the spectrum of light. Okay. I could say it doesn't exist, but I can go, hey, and I'm gonna go out there and deal with it, and I'm gonna have to deal with what's there. Just like I had to deal with what I was coming up every single day, waking up and going, fuck, man, like my body hurts. Yeah, I could have kicked out and said, let's get the green juice going, let's feel good again, get my fucking life, let's get my money back, let's get my motivation back. But I can't because I don't feel like I've tested myself far enough. And I don't feel like I've hit ground zero to the point where I fucking gave, look, I mean, like losing my fucking teeth that's kind of a commitment.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like shit like this, it's kind of a commitment, like, I don't know if you're willing to go that far, that's why my Facebook, I go to the extremes, so you don't have to, trust me, you do not want to do that. It's yeah, and so that's all I can say coming out of it. And I still, like, there's my students, there's people out there, lost face to me, I fucked up. I'm not credible. Okay, because I couldn't organize shit. I can't really organize in the first place. You know, I'm more of an artist. Yeah, and so this is where I'm at. Can I tell people along the way, hey, don't worry, I'm just kind of dicking around because I'm doing this experiment. So hang in there. It don't work that way. It's like you can't tell, yeah, believe in me.
Right.
And the crazy thing is two people ever confronted me on it. And I said, hey, bro, like, what are you doing? That was fucking mind blowing to me. I thought everyone on the bandwagon would be all, like, good friends being, hey man, I heard what's up.
People have a hard time confronting shit like that, bro.
They don't know how. But that's something that it really needs to be where people learn that, because
right.
I was blown away.
That's right. We have a rule here in our nation, right? A man can't, you know, if I said don't walk around dark around here, you know what that means, right? That's like your interpretation. When a man turns dark, let you feel right.
Yeah. Don't let him walk in the fucking dark by a cliff.
No. When a person turns dark, their energy becomes negative, and they're around and they fuck up the whole fucking vibe everywhere, right? So in a house here, we can't have people doing that, and it happens, right? Because there's still the thing about this art that I think I appreciate so much is you become a painter you get so familiar with your emotions because you're facing this shit all the time,
and your sexuality, your sexuality,
things that are taboo to the world, that without, just like Jordan was saying in that video, without actually going there, you can never trigger that part of you to get it, right? And we have to do that. So the point I'm making is when a person turns dark, right, they start to have just negative thoughts and they're trying to mask it with I'm fine, whatever, right? But what I've noticed, and I told them the class the other day, I said, how come nobody confronted so-and-so when he's walking around 2 days dark? Because you're waiting for me. Now I got to do it. Now it's going to have to be a little more severe. But I'm watching people watch other people be dark and avoid it.
Afraid to confront.
That's what you face too. They're watching you, but they're not, I don't know, I'm just going to go around this way. He's fine, or whatever the fuck it is.
Well, some of it maybe that maybe they're not skilled in the art of reframing or getting people out, or maybe they're not there either, and they see it, but because they haven't mastered it, they don't feel like they can confront it. Because they may feel like an imposter.
There's probably a million reasons for it. You know what I mean? But regardless of the reason, it can't be like that. And that's where my ideas are. Once we know where we gotta go, I don't care why it can or can't. We gotta go, bro.
Yeah.
Get there with me.
And that's the foundation of good coaches.
Let's go get there. Where are we going? Where is the end? Right? We gotta go somewhere. Otherwise, they start spinning everywhere, feeling good, but never getting anywhere at the end. Right? False confidence. You know. Yeah.
I was in this little discount store the other day, and I heard next door, like it was right next to this place called, I don't remember what it's called, but I'm hearing this guy go, "Oh, mommy, you didn't love me," and what? And like, and I'm laughing. Well, I'm kind of laughing because the girls in the front were all mortified that I was in their store and this was going on next door, and I'm like, hey man, because he's like, "Don't, mommy, don't do that to me, please, don't, mommy, stop hitting me," like this. And I go to the girl, and I'm like, hey, if they need a place to torture someone, I can do it so it's a lot less quiet. Nobody would find out, you know? And they're looking at me like this, and I'm hearing this guy, I'm all, this is so unnecessary. This is so unnecessary. Like, you know, it's not about the content, it's the structure, it's the context.
Yes.
You know, and that's the difference.
Explain that please a little bit more. This is one of those sentences, right? You know, it just goes, but it was like, that is an answer to so many problems. You're looking at the content. You have to look at the context.
Yeah.
Well, even this has content and context.
Yeah. The content is content. It's like, how should you say it? I was trying to figure a way like to teach NLP, to start doing classes. And one of from Korzybski, from the Insanity, the Mind of Insanity, I think it is, where he said the map is not the territory. Okay. And what that means is like the map, like if I have my house,
listen now. Okay.
If I have my house, that is the territory. You can never fully understand the territory. We can never even fathom the entire territory of what reality is unless you get to the micro and you go down to the fibers. All we can do is say, here's a map that I'm gonna draw, okay, and the effectiveness of how I perceive through my map reality of how I think it is based on how detailed it is, how the dimensions are right, and things like that. So if I have a map that's like drawn, it's like a couple figures, hey, maybe it's not that useful because there's a lot of things that I'm missing. Okay, and there's a lot of other things I'm missing. Like one of the exercises that I was going to do, and if you take this, it's mine. Think about this, all right? If I gave everyone and I said, draw this house, this tree over here, and I handed out crayons, but everyone got a different crayon. Okay, this is what you had to deal with. When you drew that picture, that fucking is real to you. That's what you have. That tree is everything that you thought. But is it, when you look at his tree, is it different? Okay, because we all have separate pieces. We're all bringing pieces to the puzzle. That tree is real to you, as real as it can get. And it'd be the same thing. Like if I put a big bag and I put like a ball in there with little fur on, and everyone closed their eyes and everyone's reaching there, and I said, okay, what is it? Explain it. 100 different answers. That's why everyone's unique and different. We all see the world differently, and so that's one way of understanding it. You know, your map is only as good as the usefulness that you get the result from. If your map sucks and you're like Eskimos, I think have 22 words for ice. Yeah. They need to. You know, we're just kind of like, okay, white ice, black ice, and yellow ice.
And you know what? I realize that what people call, let's say, an insecurity or fear, we have thousands of words for that, and we break that shit down to metal and lower, and then we find the one where they can actually have some command over. I may not have command over fear, but I have command over my breathing or that changed in me. What changed? You know what I'm saying, yeah. Right? That's the beauty part of it, because Eskimos have to deal with ice on levels nobody else does. Yeah. They have to keep defining all the different nuances of that snow. Yeah. And part of this, the formulation of this art is that we can't just go, well, I'm insecure, right? A lot of people, I'm insecure, I need confidence. And that's one of the first things you learn, is that confidence has so many aspects to it, and that just the word confidence itself, you're never going to get there. Like you go to an Eskimo ice, and he's like, so okay, like what are we talking about here, right? You tell someone confidence or whatever, and I think that's part of the reason why people aren't getting better, because there's still the vocabulary that's being used is not a modern. As our intelligence goes up, our technology goes up, right? And this is an inner technology. This is a way of, there's the astronaut that goes there, and there's the guy that goes in. You know what I mean? We go in every day and map the shit and come out and see the results, as within, so without. One thing we recognize is, as we change this, everything changes. Now, we hear that in all their fucking books in ancient times, but there's one thing hearing it, and there's one thing hearing it. And we get to hear it. You can watch a YouTube video on how to do an arm bar, and you go, oh, and if someone does this, you understand the move until you have to do the move. Then you understand you don't understand the move at all. You can even break it down and teach it, but when you fight with it, you realize, oh shit, now I'm beginning to now I'm learning, right? And that's the problem, is so many people are trying to solve problems here, yeah. And the problem is solved here. In movement and in communication and exchange of ideas and energy and philosophies, and people are trying to solve it so that it can be perfect here. You solve it here, so it's perfect here.
Yeah, and you bring your own. See, the one thing that people miss is everyone on this planet has one gift that's divine. You are the unique, one-of-a-kind solution from your own perspective of every possible problem on the planet. You want to be someone else? What did you bring to the table? Because you're confident in them. Like your perspective, there's never going to be another you. You're never going to come through this plane. You're it with your unique perspective. And if you don't value that perspective and speak out, and it's useful, then why are you here? You know, like you have to value that you're that unique perspective.
How does one do that when their whole life they've, been taught the opposite, the beliefs? I mean, there's so many barriers to that. That is the truth. What's the first step that someone can take to getting there?
The first step is realize that when you were born, okay, society put a blanket on you, keep you warm, they thought. Okay, your parents put a little blanket on you. They added a little bit, maybe put a little bit of elastic on the side. then you got your cultural beliefs, you got your parents' beliefs, you got, the church comes around or religion, they put their little things on. And hey, man, you're all warm and you're all dandy and everything's good and you're safe. Doesn't you start growing, but that shit don't grow. Next thing you know, you're like, man, this is starting to get uncomfortable. I'm not really little tight. Next thing you know, there's a hole over here and your legs sticking out and just not doing the same thing. It's not the same. It's uncomfortable. So what do you got to do? You got to start taking that shit off of them. And that's why I say, like, the first time, and this is knowing yourself. If you don't know yourself, then you're just like a data copy Xerox. Okay.
Maharishi Mahesh Yogi said, all knowledge is self-knowledge in the end.
That's pretty much it. And like when I first started, like people don't do the work. I fucking literally put 140 things on. I did not like myself. Went in there with Evan Page and Dave Dan. We sat in Starbucks and we just debunked them all. Went down the list. The next thing you know, like okay, I'm not. Like watch how fast this works. Don't like give me like any. I'm not confident. I'm not worried. Like just throw stuff out. Let me show you how fast. And this is like I'm talking about. It's not. We're gonna close this loop now. Context versus content. Okay. Content. I'm not worthy. Context. So if I change the context, then I change the frame. Okay. Then I just said, hey, that I just gave you 3 more crayons. Oh wow! Now there's a different type of tree. I can draw a different type of picture. So the ability is the context. There's content reframing, and content reframing would be, okay, if someone's yelling and they're being loud, okay, content is, well, if they're like, dude, you're being really loud, you're being annoying. Hey, well, great, man. If there's ever like an emergency, people will know. Content, context, okay? So context would be, let's see, well, that's not more content. So it would be,
let me give you an example that you actually did already. Content was you giving the content of the drugs and what you were doing. That was the content you were listening to. But the context that you were doing the drugs under was different than every other person.
Absolutely.
The context is the reasoning behind the content. So if I have a brother of mine who's locked up for life, he's never getting out, like forever, right? He's the highest ranking commander in the gang, right? And he cannot change the content of his day. His content stays in that same situation forever. But he can change the context of why he's doing time. He never snitched. He this and that. He still holds risk. And in order for him to survive, he's gonna have to control that context. Context is controlled by us, while content sometimes yes or no. Right? The way I choose to look at this moment has nothing to do with anybody, no matter what. No matter what. You have no access to that for me. But the content that I use, you may be able to tell me, look, you can't say these words on this podcast. You can't cuss. So you get to change my content in that. But you don't get to change the context of why I don't cuss. Maybe I don't cuss not because you told me, but because for me, it's a great challenge to not cuss. You see the difference? And that's where the context versus the content comes in. And just knowing that changes the whole game for everybody.
Like Viktor Frankl and a man's search for
That's
meaning.
exactly what it is. Man's search for
Meaning.
Context.
Yeah.
That would be another way to say that. Meaning.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So for example, like I'll do some sleight of mouth, fucking reframe and shit real quick on throw me some beliefs like, hey, I'm not confident. Anything. And I'll shift the context. Like when you work with people, like I get mad at myself if they're not cured in 3 times. I get people, a kid that thought he fucks $100,000 the family spent because he thought he was fucking in a video game. He did some bad acid and 30 minutes later, done. Hit the road. People all, is that it? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead, try to get the feeling back. And I can't. I go, wow, fuck, that's horrible. You want your money back? Sorry for being so effective.
Therapy. Hey, the story where the guy took out the gun and killed the person who wanted to kill themselves? I mean, cured them. Hold on. Listen to this, right? Guy goes to the psychiatrist and says, nobody can cure me. And I'm going to kill myself right after this. I just want to give you a chance because you need to know you failed. And the psychiatrist
I call professional clients.
So then the guy says, oh, really? And so why do you want to kill yourself? Oh, because no one can end this and this and that. And as the guy's talking, psychiatrist opens up the drawer and takes out a gun. And the guy keeps talking, and then he loads the bullets on the gun. He's still listening to him. Then suddenly pops it back and puts it to his head. And he goes, you're right, I can't cure you, but I can kill you. And the guy's like, whoa! calm the fuck down, man. He's like, no, you're right. And I'm just gonna end this right now. What's your final? No, hey, put that shit down, okay? And I don't need to go any further than that, right? So the problem that people are facing is that they're not uncomfortable enough.
Or they're using a secondary gain because they're getting something from it.
Okay, yes,
And so secondary gain works like this,
yes.
you know, like, hey, and I've had plenty of people, I call them professional clients. Every reframe I'm doing, they're trying to reframe me out of it. And finally, it's like, so what they want to do is, they want everyone, their story, and they want to be able to complain their story, that they're so fucked up that Hypnotica couldn't even cure them. Because that's the story that gets them the attention.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Well, I worked with them, but he couldn't even do it.
Yeah.
He couldn't even do it.
Because
You know what he said? He said that he was really, and he, but he still couldn't do it.
Yeah, like, I'm a special category. Why? Because it makes them feel special. You
Yeah.
get attention. How many people are like, how many times you have that conversation and go, oh no, man, you're a good guy, and he's getting all that attention. I'll sit there and go, you're an asshole.
That's
You
right.
know, like
You're a pussy. I go, hey,
Yeah.
you're a beta pussy ass bitch, bro. How long you gonna do that? You got a guy and he's graduating from like the Ivy League, like, I mean, he's got that fucking life. And he came on, good looking, just like fucking, like the stud, right? Parents paid for the fucking school. I said, bro, you are fucked up, bro. You are fucked up. You need to get the fuck out of college, this and that. And then, first I built him up in front of the class. He's probably in this class right now. It was the first class where it was, and I built him. He's this, he's that, he's that. And I said,
big red splatter.
no, that's not him. I said, look, but so I built him up, and I said, you guys see the level of student that's here? I built the class up. Then I said, right, you know where I'm going. And then I said, now I'm gonna tell you a secret that only I know and he knows. He's fucking miserable. He's a fucking slave. And all that shit means absolutely nothing. And he was, And that's exactly what it is. It's like, whatever the fuck you were saying, because I lost my train of thought. End of that. Whatever it was, and back to you. When we talk, we just go through the.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go and rephrase, but you like, say, knock. Okay?
Knock.
Say nothing.
Knock.
Who's there? It's a great pattern.
Yeah.
You like that? You got.
Say hello. Bye.
Sexual?
No,
No, not yet.
it will be though if we keep going. That's
If
gay.
you were, were you think about it at all without really contemplating it?
I don't think ever again. I let God think for me.
So it's automatic,
Always.
or is it natural?
It's automatic and natural.
There you
Like
go.
Lucy said, it's unnatural naturalness and natural unnaturalness.
So it's
The
normal,
combination. It's a what?
so it's normal,
It's normal for unnormal people.
okay. So are you unnormal or just normal enough not to understand what normal is?
I'm unnormally normal in a way that normal people are not ever understanding what normal is.
So do you understand what the concept of that was?
No, I don't. Back to reality.
So that's kind of play we do, because it's quick on the fly. So back to like a belief, let's close that loop now. So like throw, I don't know if they throw some beliefs up there. That's a good one. The knock off one, you want to get people looking. It's fucking hilarious. Okay. So can they hear, like, would they be able to pick up this, Chris?
She won't like me.
She won't like me? Well, what if she's got a fetish for girls what if she got a fetish for guys that don't like them? How many of those are there? I know.
No, she won't like him.
She won't like him?
That's his belief. She
Well,
won't like me.
Wait, hold on, what?
Yeah, if I believe she won't like me.
Okay, so you're actually thinking like a man, because you're actually judging man and what's attractive in a man?
You're judging what you're thinking like a woman.
You're thinking like a woman, so. Right?
Yeah.
Is that what you wanted? See, is that what you wanted? Then I'll start putting you in that corner. Okay, you know, and that's what I say, what if she's got some fucked up weird fetish for liking guys that she thinks she doesn't like?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, what's all right, switch it go. Well, what's the intention behind that? So you don't get your hopes up and put your emotion into her so that you don't get hurt?
Yeah.
Okay, so what if she's nurturing in nature like a woman normally is and actually finds that attractive? Switch context. Okay, give me another one.
What if you look stupid? What if like whatever you do, you look like an idiot in front of her or in front of some other dude?
Okay, so do you think you look stupid pretending that you are not trying to look stupid? What looks stupider? Okay, Context. What's your definition of stupid, looking stupid? What looks stupider, walking up and presenting yourself as a confident guy who's going for it, or sitting back in the corner cowering?
What would you say about this? This is the question I throw out, right? So give me that, so whatever, what did it say again?
Yeah, what if it's stupid?
Okay, so what do you think about for context, if I go, this is what I would do, and why is that okay? How could that be okay? In what situations is that okay for you?
What do you mean?
Well, what's the problem that you're having?
Yeah, like what if you know, what if I look stupid in front of them?
Okay, and in what situation would that be very acceptable by you to look stupid? What would have to be this? No, I'm asking.
Yeah.
And when is it okay? More than okay. When would you willingly look stupid? And that would be what you wanted. Could you think of anything like that? Could there possibly be a moment in life, like if someone paid you $1 million to look stupid,
Yeah.
but if you didn't look stupid, you wouldn't get the $1 million. So you really gotta fucking pull that shit off. Would then be okay to look stupid or not in front of people? I just want to know.
If someone's gonna give you $1 million.
Yes,
Yeah.
10 million. I just want to know, is there any situation that looking stupid would be okay?
Yeah, you get $1,000, really.
That's a context change, not a content. You're still gonna look stupid.
Yeah.
But in the context of getting paid $1 million, you're gonna be okay. Now, it's not $1 million, right? But let me ask you a question. If you had $1 million or your self-esteem, someone gave you $1 million, $1 million, right? But in exchange, you could never bring up your self-esteem. You just can't. Fuck that, $10 million. But you're gonna walk around the rest of your life with no self-esteem. Versus that you don't get $10 million and you get to walk around with your self-esteem high on life. Honestly, which one would you take?
Second.
You would, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you know that walking over there and looking stupid and being okay with it is the only way your self-esteem will go up? Even if someone paid you $10 million, you could never ever build self-esteem. It's something that's built by self, not by one giving you $10 million. Thus, self-esteem, to esteem oneself, or to have enough steam in oneself to get going, and not from the outside, right? It's self-esteem or steam, don't matter, you run by your own engine. Everybody, this for me is context change. And I literally live my life on that. I am a master of life because I will control the context no matter what you do. That is where my real estate is sovereign and no one's entering that. So I can't help what you do, but the story I tell myself in the end, believe me, I'm smart enough, and so are you, to come up with the context to make this okay. Is it okay to kill another man? Yes or no? What about if it's in war? Well, is it okay to carry a gun? If you were in a... You see, these are contexts. The context is carrying a gun and shooting somebody. So when you understand that you can change context, and because you're the only one that can change the context, because you're living in your own context, which is the map. You're living in your own map. Everybody's drawing, like you said, their own picture of that tree. That tree is that tree, but your version of that tree is what you're experiencing. Yes?
Good looking stupid, you looking brave to someone watching you do that.
If you had a little brother and your little brother was going to go through that, what would you tell him? That's a context.
Yeah, is that something you want to pass down energetically to your kid? That you don't move forward because if you look stupid, you're not going to make the moves that you want to make. You know, did Orville Wright? I think it's Orville Wright. Did they look stupid making the plane?
What looks stupider? Holding back from looking stupid out of fear of looking stupid, or just going ahead and looking stupid? Which one is stupider, actually?
Yeah, are you smarter when you actually make a stupid mistake and you learn from it so that you know how to inoculate against it, or you don't do anything and you don't learn shit?
Right. What would your mom do? Does your mom love you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would she know? What would she say if you knew you were walking around feeling stupid about doing something? Would she want that for her son? Would you?
No.
So is it more important to let down your mother, or is it more important to just fucking walk over there and handle the shit and the reward of that? Now let me ask you another question. What is the reward of being okay with looking stupid? What are some things that you can get if you were actually totally okay with looking stupid? What would be the end result of that if you're 100% okay, never had a problem with that again? What do you envision for yourself? How would you be?
I'd be unstoppable. I mean, I would get every result I want. I mean,
You'd be unstoppable?
Yeah.
Can you feel what it would be like to be unstoppable?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is stopping you from being unstoppable on that way? What is it? What is the barrier?
What has been stuff?
Thank you. What has been stopping you?
That idea of looking stupid.
So you're saying that you can be unstoppable the moment you drop that idea now? You could literally drop the idea and be unstoppable? Is that what you're telling me? Are you claiming that as a truth? Or are you lying?
Now, you're looking at something else that you're doing right there? No. Are you paying attention to where your eyes are going when you do
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay, so why don't you like, leave the left up to your imagination? You know, look up there, you know, do you understand? Like,
No,
leave the rest of these ideas left up and forcing it to your imagination, usually imagination, look up there, okay, up to the left, okay? Now, see if you can start to see that image kind of evolving itself from that image that you thought you knew, or you thought you had, and no, see, you're going back down to, see, you see that? Keep your eyes up there.
You go down to
And
the
try in vain to think about the way that you had been being up until this point in time. And as your eyes stay up there and leave what's left up to the imagination to develop that image for you, now that you're thinking about it, you know, just take as much time as it takes to develop it. And if you did develop it right away, would it be more of a sense of you see yourself in that picture being strong? Or you just allow it to evolve naturally over the next few days and weeks and months, so you get a complete, full-rounded panoramic vision of who you are and what you bring to the table. And only slightly nod your head when you feel like that's starting to develop. You could start with a shift, you could start with a flash, you could start with anything other than the way that you had been thinking about it up until this point in time. Is that nod? So something started to shift, right?
yeah.
Now, why don't you get a downright good feeling? So forcing down your eyes down to the right, okay, where your feelings are, get a good downright good feeling about that. Lock that in. Feels different, doesn't it? Now, the only question is, are you going to allow this to develop more naturally, or would you prefer organically over the next few weeks?
Well, because those seem like the same thing.
Okay, well, which one would you prefer to be more confident with if you had to choose one of them?
I would allow it to develop naturally.
Okay, so would you find that you made more of a shift being more confident during the day, or you think that that would trickle into the night where your persona would magnify?
I'd say both.
Okay,
I think it trickles to both.
well, that's terrible. You can't have too good of feelings right away. Or can you have two good feelings?
I think it's very possible.
It's very possible.
It's definitely possible.
Okay, then why are you smiling? Try not to smile and feel good about having two fucking good choices while it's trickling into your life during the day and in the night, okay? Without trying not to think about the way that it used to be without smiling. Because you could leave that left up to your imagination to dream about it at night. See, now you're nodding your head, you know? Okay, and you're keeping your eyes over there. It feels different over there, doesn't it? Now try to go back without smiling and thinking about those two good things, and try to go back and look at that the way you used to think about that, and notice how perhaps you get a little distant from it, so it's a little bit more dim and darker, and it's kind of hard to recognize, isn't it? A choice you can make that you have other choices in, aren't you? Contemplating it differently, you have to keep your eyes up to the right. Because what's right now in that image feels right, doesn't it? And what's left over is the residue falling away from the old way it used to be, wasn't it? A problem in the past, isn't it?
Remember that silly idea you used to have? What was that silly idea you used to have? It was silly as fuck. Can you
See, now you try to go access it, get down there
what was that silly idea you used to have?
by looking up to the left. There, now, think about that old silly idea, see?
Yeah, if that would look stupid, if I would do something, I would look stupid.
Remember how, remember how stupid you used to look?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen, I could have looked real stupid with the foam on the side of my face. But do you think that people were thinking, wow, he's fucking feeling stupid, like, or did I just roll the punches? Because I understand looking stupid is okay because it teaches someone confidence. Because someone may be looking at you thinking that they're feeling stupid too, but if you show them and walk right through the fear, then you've done something well.
the greatest kings always kept a jester in court for a few reasons, okay? One of those reasons was so that the king would always be reminded that he's also a fool. That's why the jester could say anything and everything around the king, and a good king always kept a jester around to make sure that he always remembered that even though he's a king, he's still a fool just like the jester. That was the jester's job originally.
Yeah.
To balance out the king archetype. You get that? That's where the Joker is very powerful. Because to be a powerful man, you're gonna have to be both. You gotta be a king and a Joker. You guys get that? You can't take yourself seriously and you can't take yourself lightly.
See, and see, you keep on looking down there, that's the thing, being aware that you don't know. You have your unconscious incompetence, okay? Then you have your conscious incompetence, then you have your unconscious competence, and then you have your unconscious competence. Okay, being aware that your eyes go down there is a big thing, and any one of you guys should be noticing if a person's in that state, notice where their eyes are, okay? That's a big fucking part. That's where you're sorting things with your submodality, so your thinking is calm on it, say, hey, look up there. You know, look up there and jump down. Like I guarantee you, like none of you guys can feel depressed if you stand on your head and try to do it. It's impossible. Okay, so breaking the pattern. Why do I do shit like this? And what I did is I did some double binds on him that no matter what he said, the presupposition is that he feels comfortable. Great. So what do you feel more comfortable with if you have this one or this one? It's not a matter of the question, because when you do double bind is basically giving them false choice. When I said, hey, do you think you can trickle during the day, or is it gonna kind of meander itself through in the night?
You said naturally or organically?
Yeah, naturally organic. You saying naturally organic, I'm building the structure in your head for success. You know, so meanwhile, I just ask people questions. I do more therapy with people by asking questions. And by the time they're done, they have the whole map over, and I just go, and then the map's already built, which I'm going to tie back another loop. I'm going to close this loop now. What we were talking about is when you're building that state of mind, going back to when I was talking about the health. Okay, when no one ever answered, but I'm going to close the loop. What's the National Quitting Day?
The national what?
Quit day.
Quit day Monday.
Okay, well,
I'm guessing. I'm fucking
okay.
I know it's a suicide day for sure.
Well, I'm talking about numbers. Like how many days do a person go before it's the National Quit Day? That's a good.
How many? So I have a goal. How many days do I go before I quit my goal? Like
On
national average.
National Quit Day.
Oh, let's guess.
Okay, 7.
I was gonna say 7.
The 30th, 12.
I'm gonna say my guess would be. Let me see if I put myself through something I would want to quit. 4 for me.
19.
Oh,
19. Why? So what are they?
I'm like fuck this.
And where do they say you change the habit?
30.
You know, like 30. It's been like 3 weeks, 30 around there. Why? Because it's National Quit Day. Because the body loves to be. It has that synergy. It's it begins with the word. See, these are the things where my brain's still not all the way back with, but it's the synergistic effect. It wants to be balanced.
Mm-hmm.
To make a change, there's a lot of rewiring that needs to happen. There's a lot of things that need to shift. So that's what I call the guardian of the gate, you know? So at 19, it's usually around when it shifts, when it offers you the good shit, you know, where it's like, okay, here we go. So that's one thing. So going back to the other, when you're eating good and you're eating healthy, one of the things you have to do in anything, even being more confident, is you have to condition that. Because I noticed, hey, when I was eating good, I would feel so good that I would feel like I'm on drugs, and I would start fucking not knowing what to do. And because I didn't condition my neurology to handle it, I'd be like a 16 gauge wire, you know, it's certain thickness. But now I'm coursing, I'm like a divine conductor now. I'm like coursing way more energy through it. And the 16 gauge is going burning out.
Yeah.
So what do? I go back to default. Hey, this is too strong for me. I'm going to go back to eating shitty, self-sabotage, things like this.
Yeah.
That's battle. So you got to condition your brain to get your mind thinking. Next thing you know, when you condition your brain, now I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting this 12 gauge. I'm gonna fucking thicker wire. Now I'm becoming the divine connector. You know, I am the divine wiring of this, because I can absorb more energy and not default and start tripping out because I'm not used to it. You know, your body will always revert to your default training. Yeah.
Okay, should we take questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want a couple more side mouth. I'm just gonna like warm it up. Like, you know.
Yeah, we just get
So
started.
give me
I don't even know.
I don't know.
Right, you guys have questions out here? Make it easy. Anybody? If you have online, raise your hand. Yo, Chris, will you do this?
Yeah, I can go from
You
here.
can do it from there. Okay, if you guys have questions, raise your hand. He's gonna. Let's start. Let's start with Adrian. Adrian, go ahead.
So, let's say.
Speak up for the mic if you would. Speak up for the mic. Yeah.
Come closer.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, it's fine. Perfect.
So if like someone wanted to like develop, let's say, confidence or like self-esteem, because let's say they, you know, an idea they have about themselves is that they're not good, or like maybe they don't feel like they're doing the right things because they can't, you know, like you said, like they have impulses or habits that they're seeing that they don't like, but that they try to stop, but they can't. Or let's say they wanna become better with women and they approach a lot of women and, you know, and they do that, but they don't see that they're progressing. What would you say is like?
Well, I want the distinction first between, do you want confidence or you want competence? Because
I would want both.
Well, yeah, but you gotta start with one.
Oh, wow.
One develops the other.
Okay, so which one would be the one that is?
I'll tell you what, okay, I got an airplane. Bro, I can fucking take you around across the country in this airplane, bro.
I'm so confident.
I am fucking confident.
You're so confident, bro.
Never,
get on the
never
plane with you.
fly a plane before my life. Then you got Ross over here who's, well, maybe, you know, he's like, well, I'm competent. Who the fuck, what plane you gonna get in?
Hey, I don't know how this.
You get in my plane, we're going down.
Okay.
All right, so what, first of all, make the distinction between competence and confidence. Like what is it that you want to develop? Because competence develops confidence.
Yeah,
How
I
many
would
times?
want to develop competence. I
Okay.
want to get good at like, with women and just how to interact with
How
people.
about you get good with yourself first of being okay to fail and be able to start one little area and master that area first.
Okay.
Okay, so if you get good, if you get a woman right now, are you solid? Are you gonna be able to take that all the way and just live off the confidence and the confidence that you have?
What do you mean?
I mean, it's like if you got a woman
So you
right
got
now,
a girl that you were like, gosh, she's so
you
hot.
know yourself well enough right now to fucking take that out and fucking and develop it, like where you're just like, hey, because anytime you're with a woman, time away from understanding who you are, that's the biggest problem that most guys have. They don't know who they are, they get in a relationship, they don't know their boundaries, they don't know the rules, they don't have these things, and so what happens? They get mad because the girl or whatever's breaking the rules and testing them, and he gets mad because
They get
he
destroyed.
didn't even know what his rules were.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
So what's most important to you in a relationship?
Finding out who I am.
Okay, no, in a relationship,
I guess,
I guess, because you don't know.
Titties,
yeah,
titties.
I would want her to respect me.
Okay, so what does respect mean to you?
Well, I want her to look up to me and to admire me.
For what purpose?
What purpose?
See, you don't know your boundaries, you don't know your rules, yeah. You shouldn't have to think about it. You ask me the question, I go, blah, 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 blah. I go, here's the manual to my mind, it's really, just fucking go by it, it's all good. You know, that you gotta know these things. And a great question is, what's most important to you? What are the rules for it? What has to happen in order for that to take place? Okay, so it's like this. Imagine if you were the mayor of this town. Okay, you didn't know what your rules are and shit like this, and you're like, hey, I'm the mayor of this town. People are walking in, they don't know, so they're doing all kinds of shit. And you're like, well, you can't do that. Well, did you post it? You know, people coming in doing stuff, they're testing shit, and you're the mayor of the town. So, like, one of the reasons I was really good running a strip club and I did really well and I was very fair was because I kept things consistent. You know, I don't care if you're a girlfriend or I don't care if you're this, I was consistent, fair across the board. People I did not like, I was fair across the board.
Listen to Aquarius. Quality,
Consistent,
you know that?
consistency, fairness, consistency. I have people that were like, fuck, when I became the GM, like, fuck, I'm gonna get fired. And I just went there and said, look, I know we've had our differences. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold against you. We're gonna start again. We're gonna do this. Not any other reason for that. So if now you're the mayor of your town, okay, and you walk into a town and there's like, it says, don't know shit about the rules, well, we're developing on the way. What kind of town do you think that's gonna be?
Very chaotic and.
Okay, so if you're like, these are the rules of the town, here it is, real mapped out, and you're consistent with it, you know, this is what I put up with, this is what I don't put up with, and you walk into town, what do you think that town's gonna be like?
It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna
So
run
the first thing is to do is you have to ask yourself the questions. What's most important to you? And what is the criteria for it? You have to know the criteria for your rules and what's important to you. If you don't know that, you're gonna get fucking stomped on. And the reason why women, you know, will test your boundaries is because A, they want you to develop it if you don't know what it is. And the reason why they keep testing you is because if they can control you, okay, because their main thing is really understanding the security. They want security that's built into them. They want security, they want safety. And if they can manipulate you and they do it, then what real unconscious motivation are they thinking? Man, if I can fucking outmaneuver him, if shit hits the fan, is this the guy that I want for the job?
I mean, that's the secret, if there is a secret to having multiple girlfriends.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's gotta know, no woman is ever gonna manipulate me because you can't. You know what I mean? You can't. But if you could be manipulated, how are you gonna go get a second fucking girlfriend? Cause she's gonna take you away from the other fucking chick and stomp all over you, cause you're a weak ass, you're just a weak ass. But when she knows what she's capable of, she knows how hot she is, she knows she can be anywhere, and she knows with you, it's like, there's a door banging, get the fuck out of here if you're gonna fucking listen, it's all good, I'm gonna go over here. Oh, then if she can't do it, another woman can't do it. But when she could stomp all over you, right? And then now I'm gonna go talk to, you're not talking to anybody, why? Because you're mine. She starts to own you, control you like you're the bitch, really. You are the bitch.
And tonight.
You know,
We won't get through it, it's fine. That's our little.
I can tell you this, a similar thing, and I don't know, you probably many times shared experiences, but you know, I had an opposite flow happen. Where I told the girl get out, you know, and I left her not in a very good place. And then she thought that, well, she threatened to get out of the car. And I noticed it, so I slowed down the car, because sometimes these women jump out of the car, you know. So it's like a woman move.
Only when they're gagged and bound.
You know. So anyways, so I slowed down and she got out and she was gonna play this game of like, well, then I'm gonna fucking walk out here by myself and you're gonna be like, don't. And so I waited for her and then she's looking at me. I said, shut the door. She slammed the door, I took off, right? These guys were there that night, right? So I'm getting text, I'm done. How could you? I didn't leave you. You walked the fuck out. So now you're gonna have to get home, but I don't have any money, boss. You're gonna have to figure this shit out. Oh, I tried everything. I'm dying. I'm shivering. You know, like, oh my God, I'm getting bombed right now. And now I'm sorry. Now I love you. That's all that. No, baby, you walked out. The power of a man, one of the greatest power of a man, masculine energy, is to walk away. What do you think? He just did it. He just did it.
Someone offered me a ride tonight. I took it and they were, you know, talking about what it is and they were grinding it. I was like, Rosh, I'm gonna be there perfectly on time, right on time.
He's like, I'll be there at 8.
8 o'clock on sharp, you know, you can lead it on, walk right in, perfect. Next thing you know, it's like, I get a call, I go, hey, can you come pick me up? He's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, this girl's giving me shit about like what I do and who I am, and I was gonna take, you know, like, then I just said, pull over. I just got out, it's fucking cold as shit, and just started walking, and I looked down, I'm like, supposed to be there at 8 o'clock, and it says 17 minutes to walking. Hey, Ross, can you come get me? And just left, just got out of the car and walked away.
It's the power of a man. A man should never argue with a woman. The man should have, that's why he was asking you. Do you know your rules? Do you know your boundaries? Because if you don't, look, you're gonna learn some rules, as you know. You've done great in these last time. Like awesome, bro. And so one of these days, that girl that you're like, just, oh my God, look at her, right? She's gonna give you that attention you want, and it's gonna be there. Then, now what happens? Now what's gonna happen?
And if you don't know your boundaries, okay, this is, I have plenty of discussions with women about this. They don't understand it. I think I probably had the most interactions with women on the planet in the sexual settings and stuff like this, probably anywhere else. 27 years in a strip club, working with that intimately, learning shit, being a stripper, all that shit. I understand women. You know, they think I don't sometimes, but I understand what the dynamics are. And I got to down to one word, and this means that if you don't have your boundaries down, I'm going to give an example. This is not misogynistic. This is my experience, and this is, if any guy can really think about it, it's usually their experience. Women do not like this understanding. One word to bring women down. If I could explain one word to explain women, if I was in there with the aliens like women.
Evil.
No, I'd say more. More, because when you see the, hey, we don't spend enough time, and now you let go of your work on Sunday and you gave it up for it. More.
Yeah.
They adjust to it because a woman, there's a story, I think it's Krishna and Shiva and Shakti. And he's coming, you know, and he's like, okay, maybe someone can explain this better, but that's their nature. They're bringing in. They're a vagina, they're absorbing. So they're absorbing. So you just gave them your Sunday, and now you're on Sunday and on Monday, Tuesday. Well, you know, maybe you give up, like you have to go somewhere Sunday. Okay, well, what's going on? I already gave you Sunday. Well, that's not more. And if you don't have your rules and your boundaries done up,
So.
It's not that they're evil, and anything like that. It's the nature of who they are. They're absorbing. We're penetrating, we move in, they take in.
Yeah,
It's,
that's a dynamic, and I know for sure that she was designed by God and Mother Nature to destroy the weakest men that she can, because that's how the race goes forward and evolves, you know, just like everything else. Yeah, she's here to destroy you or make you greater. Now that's a context you're gonna have to decide on. You see the difference? The content is that she is her nature and a man is his nature, you know, and we share that in common. The context is her character towards you, her energy, feminine energy. Is that gonna make you a stronger man, or is she gonna be able to destroy you? Okay? And if she can make you a stronger man, meaning what does that mean? She doesn't make you a stronger man. You become a stronger man because you can put you know, one thing will happen when you guys go at a certain level, then a woman doesn't matter if it's fucking Beyonce or Queen fucking Elizabeth or the neighbor next door. It's the same fucking thing going on. You understand? You agree with what I'm saying? That's like, we haven't checked these things out with each other. You understand? We don't talk about stuff like that. We talk about like galaxy jumping.
yeah, we really talk, we just get out here every once in a while,
Yeah.
just.
But this is what I know, because I know the experiences he's had. You just get to it. It's like a level of the video game that you get to, right? Then you just don't, it doesn't really matter anymore. A, what she says, B, what she looks like, her status, her money, her tits, her ass. It don't matter who she knows. It doesn't matter, because you know how to deal with her in a way that's gonna create a certain situation inside of her and around you, and that's it. And so much of that is just knowing that, having boundaries, not letting her step over them. If she asks me for more time, what happens? That's how she cuts the time she exists with me already.
And without them,
Mm-hmm.
men are lazy.
Mm-hmm. That's
You know,
true.
We're lazy.
Because that is a God-given motivator.
Motivator, like we do things to get better because of women.
And thus we are here years and years and years.
You know,
Continue to
so
grow.
without them, we're pieces of crap, just doing nothing, you know, but you want them challenging, you know, but you also want the perfect harmony. You know, the difference between the yin and the yang, and if you ever know, if you're yin and yang, okay, you hear that. It's pronounced wrong, okay? Just remember, like, think of it just the words, because guys go, oh, it's about the yin yang, okay? The yin, okay, yin, okay, does that sound feminine? Yin, is that feminine or masculine?
Yin is feminine.
Okay, how's it sound? Yin.
Yin is a feminine.
Okay, what about yang?
Yang is a more masculine.
Does that sound masculine?
Absolutely.
No. Yang sounds like you're yang. Okay, yin, yang.
Yeah.
So that's a pronounced way to do it. Yin and yang. So get it right so you sound like you know what you're talking about. Yang is masculine. Yin, you're like yin yang. Now you're gonna hear people go, oh, it's about the yin yang, or yin yang. I can't even say it like that. You're gonna look at it and go, it has no essence of masculinity in there. So just get it right on that stuff. So I don't know.
The question was, how do you become confident? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, you got an
So
answer?
now it's, yeah, I got this. You actually helped me discover a boundary now, so,
Fuck, it's
And
terrible.
what is that boundary?
Horrible.
well,
Can you make it worse and develop two?
it's all right.
Can you make it worse and develop two? It's terrible. You're already improving. Fuck.
What's the
I'm
boundary?
sorry, I can't disappoint you guys.
It's a lot, that's exactly that, I wouldn't want a woman to take, like, if you let her, she'll take everything from you, which is, like you said. more.
So how do you know what's the criteria for you to know what she can take and what she can't?
Well, that's up to, like, I would have to feel it out, like, once I start feeling like.
Feeling it out isn't a concept. Feeling it out is a feeling based upon not knowing.
Right,
Okay, so what has to happen for you to have felt it out and know that that's the right choice based
depending
on?
on what she's asking for, the content and context, like, let's say, she wants something, or she's asking me for something, I would have to logically look. And see if it's something that is necessary for her to like be okay, or if it's like something ridiculous, then I have to put my foot down and say no.
So how do you know the distinction between the two?
Well, for example, if she's asking me for money,
Okay,
and let's say she needs help with paying her rent or whatever. For example, let's say I know she needs help paying her rent, I've seen it, let's say she's my girlfriend and I've seen like what her expenses are, and she's short for whatever reason.
Okay.
If she's asking me for help, then I'll help her.
Okay.
If she's asking me for money to go out and
okay.
let's say do like go out and drink with her friends, then I'm not gonna do that.
So now you have a distinction to build a foundation off of.
Yeah.
And that's just knowing yourself. Where else is it not appropriate and where else is it? See, when you have three or more choices, say in NLP, if you have one choice, you're basically just like a robot. Two choices, usually you're a dilemma. You usually start to have free choice when you have three or more choices.
Infinite choices,
You know,
infinite possibilities.
well, infinite is to a degree, like you can have too many choices and get mixed up in how to pick the right one. That's too many choices is also not the best.
Not for me, but I understand.
Yeah,
I
so
understand.
not knowing how to make a decision on the best one can go on to the upper extreme. But once you start developing it, next thing you know, it's like, for example, I inoculate, like you're saying, oh, what if I look stupid? Okay, I inoculate against everything.
Can you define inoculate?
Inoculate means know what's gonna be said, know what your worst fear is, and then inoculate against it means prepare for it. Like if you're a salesman and you know that someone's gonna say it's really expensive.
Yeah, I gotta talk to my
Okay,
boss.
and you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe you're right. If you're gonna say, well, what's really expensive is buying 3 different cheap ones because they keep on breaking over time. So you inoculate against it. So you inoculate against what it is. Hey, I look stupid. Okay. Well, what is the perfect response that you can utilize to do that? Now, I'm a big advocate of AI. Okay, I love AI. I'm on the cutting edge of AI. I
You are AI.
I love it. And I'm building shit and I'm doing stuff. I'm learning code. I'm learning Python. I'm learning shit because I'm digging it. So just to show you, like, you don't have to be in this alone anymore. Like, I'm going to show you right now some pretty fucking cool shit. All right. And hopefully the internet's good here. Right.
It's okay.
So this is my good friend here that hello. What I'd like you to do is now these are my commands that I've trained this on. Okay. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to use sleight of mouth patterns and some double binds and paradox. Also some sleight of mouth, but I want you to go a little bit more into more the extreme ones. And I want you to offer them not only on an extreme level, but I want you to go through the 14 different sleight of mouth patterns. And I want you to come up with a couple more that I've naturally trained you on that are a little exclusive. And I want you to answer the question and reframe this in the best way that is contextually going to shift this for my friend here. And his belief is, what if I look stupid if I approach her? Come up with some reframes for that. One at a time, step by step. Do not move on until we go to the next step. And let's hear what your responses are.
Let's tackle that belief with the sleight of mouth pattern counterexample first. This technique challenges a belief by presenting a scenario.
Oops, sorry. Fucking shit. I hit the wrong button.
No worries.
Thank you.
Let's move on to the next sleight of mouth pattern, which is redefine. This technique involves changing the meaning of one or more of the words in the statement to create a different perspective. Or, what if I look stupid if I approach her? A redefinition could be, what does looking stupid really mean in this context? Isn't it just an opportunity to show your genuine interest and courage, qualities that are admirable and attractive? This reframe shifts the focus from the fear of looking
It's amazing.
That goes in,
to
right?
the opportunity to display positive traits. Would you like to proceed with another pattern?
Yes, just give me the patterns, not the definitions of them. Just go through a list of 25 reframes that are quick. Just this one, this one, this one. Don't wait till the next one. Just fire them off.
Understood. Let's dive into a variety of sleight of mouth reframes for what if I look stupid if I approach her? 1. Consequence. What if approaching her leads to a great conversation or a valuable connection? 2. Intention. Your intention is to get to know her, not to impress anyone. 3. Another outcome. Consider the possibility of making a new friend regardless of the outcome. 4. Metaphor. Approaching someone you're interested in is like trying a new sport. The first step is always the hardest, but it gets easier. 5. Apply to self. If she approached you, would you think she looked stupid or would you be flattered? 6. Change frame size. In the grand scheme of things, this moment is just a tiny part of your life. 7. Hierarchy of criteria. Isn't it more important to be brave and open to new experiences than to worry about temporary embarrassment? 8. How do you know you'll look stupid? Have you approached someone before? and had a positive experience. 9. Model of the world. Not everyone will perceive your approach as stupid. Some may find it brave. 10. What specifically makes you think you'll look stupid? Is it something you can control or improve? Chunk up. What is the ultimate goal of approaching her? Is it to express your interest and possibly connect on a deeper level? 12. Analogy. Just like a baby learning to walk, everyone stumbles at first. What matters is you're taking steps forward. 13. Change frame. Instead of fearing looking stupid, see it as an opportunity to overcome your fears. 14. Counterexample. Think of a time when someone approached you and how it made you feel appreciated. 15. Ecology. Will approaching her in a respectful manner align with your values and integrity? 16. Identity. You are someone who takes chances and grows from them, regardless of the outcome. Cause and effect. By not approaching, you're ensuring the outcome you fear most, no interaction at all. 18. Values. Does the value of potentially meeting someone special outweigh the temporary feeling of looking stupid? 19. Prior cause. Your past successes in meeting new people show you can do this successfully. 20. Utilization. Use any nervousness as a sign of genuine interest, which is a positive thing. 21. Redirection. Focus on the excitement of meeting someone new rather than the fear of embarrassment. Threshold.
Now what I want you to do is I want you to now give some double binds of paradox with that and notice what are the responses that you can come up with from a paradoxical point of view, which collapses the anchors of the belief.
Let's apply some double binds and paradoxical reframes to the belief. What if I look stupid if I approach her? These approaches can help collapse the belief by presenting a choice between two outcomes, both of which lead to a reevaluation of the original belief. 1. Choice paradox. Whether you approach her and risk looking stupid or you don't and always wonder what might have been, both choices lead you to face your fear of rejection. Which fear is more important to overcome? 2. Action paradox. If you approach her, you might feel temporarily uncomfortable. If you don't, you'll definitely feel the discomfort of regret. Which discomfort is more bearable? 3. Perception paradox. You're worried about looking stupid if you approach her, but not approaching her because of this fear actually reinforces the idea that you're not confident. Isn't it smarter to show confidence by approaching? 4. Outcome paradox. If you approach her and she's receptive, you prove your fear wrong. If she's not, you've practiced courage. Isn't the real success here overcoming your fear, regardless of the outcome?
There. So
That's amazing, bro.
if you're not utilizing the AI in a way, and I've been training this model over here with a lot of the things, because that's what like I said, I'm gonna be
How long did it take you to train that thing like that?
not long. I mean, I know what to say, and I know how to study, and I know what to go for. I mean, I can even you know, this is kind of funny. I want you to do a reframe for if I approach her, I'll feel stupid, or if I fuck. Let me start it again. What was the belief again that you had? I don't remember anymore. Okay. What if I look stupid? I want you to do some reframes as if you were Ricky Gervais that hosts the Oscars.
If we're channeling Ricky Gervais at the Oscars for reframes on, what if I look stupid if I approach her? Let's add a touch of his signature humor and directness. 1. Well, if you approach her and look stupid, at least you're being authentic. Honestly, it's more entertaining than those who never take a risk. Cheers to being the star of your own awkward sitcom. 2. Imagine this. You approach her and it goes horribly wrong. Congratulations, you've just given her and yourself a great story for parties. You're practically a philanthropist of humor now. 3. What if you look stupid? Mate, we're all a bit stupid, aren't we? The trick is owning it. If you can laugh at yourself, you're invincible. Or at least you're more fun at parties. 4. Let's face it, the fear of looking stupid is like being afraid of breathing. It's going to happen.
One more. Now I want you to do a reframe in the sarcastic manner. Like, go ahead and clown them a little bit.
If we're aiming for a sarcastic twist on reframing, what if I look stupid if I approach her? Let's inject some playful sarcasm. 1, oh, absolutely. Because every great love story starts with, I saw her, got scared of looking stupid, and did nothing. The end. Romance novelists, eat your hearts out. 2, sure, play it safe. After all, history remembers the brave souls who, oh, wait, no, it remembers those who took no risks at all. My bad. 3, right. Because the worst thing that could happen in life is looking stupid for a whole 5 seconds. That definitely outweighs finding happiness or making a meaningful connection. 4, you're worried about looking stupid? Well, good news. No one's ever looked stupid approaching someone they're interested in. It's unprecedented. You'll be the first, a true pioneer. 5, imagine the horror of expressing genuine interest in another human being. Truly an act only for the foolish. Stick to the shadows, the unsung hero of missed connections.
There, so,
Only you here for,
I gotta go back tomorrow.
no, here, do you spend the night here tonight? You wanna stay?
I gotta kind of figure out if I gotta ride home.
Okay, well, let me tell you what, let me tell you what.
Yeah,
We're gonna wrap this one up.
yeah, we rock and roll.
I'm gonna tell you guys why. Because I know what's gonna happen. There's gonna be conversation after this, and it's gonna just
Oh,
keep
yeah,
getting
yeah,
better
yeah,
as the night
yeah,
goes,
yeah.
but I wanna hurry up and get into that. Because of how much time we have for our wake up and all that we do, okay? So we're gonna be, let's wrap it up. If you guys wanna, Hypnotica, how do people get a hold of you and like, how does this work?
You can go to hypnotica.org, if it's working properly, because I came off that wonderful, like, just professional role of the last couple of years. It's hypnotica.org. I've opened up a few training segments just for real quick, because I'm stepping back from all my projects that I'm gonna release, and I'm gonna just fucking put the pedal to the metal, but I want to step back, analyze it, because I'm coming out with a book, which is interactive, and it's called the Encyclopedia of Self-Esteem, Instant Insight into Reframing Your Reality. And then, man, I got a fucking lot of shit coming down to go, like, once a month, I'm just gonna release it, so.
Once you start producing, you're a fucking machine, bro.
Yeah, and I'm going back there, because, and then, you know, that's another thing, like, I was doing the mythos of masculinity, and that was like, I pushed myself, and this is another thing of like failure or whatever, I had never created a product in one day that was edited, that was created, that was scripted, that had music, that was uploaded, that had a script to it. And I was like, push myself. Now, I said at the beginning, this is experimental. And I went fucking rock star. 4 months, stopped short, just burned out. Lost my fucking team. Denver went down, he died. Everything went down to shit. And I was burned out, oh, why do you fucking finish? You fucking, man, you gotta get back and finish it. I'm gonna fucking do the fucking thing. Because when I'm done with this thing and I'm back in it, there's never gonna be a program like it. Now, could I foresee that? Like it's like running a mile. I ran a mile, okay, and that was what I used to. 1 mile every other day. Now I'm running 26 miles straight, never done it before. I can't foresee this. I can tell you what I think I'm gonna do. But unless I'm like doing it and realizing it, I don't know if I could fight in the dragon again. So, I just got to the point where, and this is where the peer pressure people are, oh man, when are you going to start? Okay, well, I'm feeling the peer pressure, like I got to get in there because I'm losing my reputation, I'm losing my credibility. But then I was like, fuck them, no one's doing this. I'm the only one putting the balls on the line. Now I have to create without anyone, without any help, shit every single day and put it out. Okay, I'm not feeling it, so my ethical thing, I could be unethical and put something out there and not vibe with it, but with like Freudian said, I'm not gonna put that, I believe in transference. If I'm not feeling right and I'm in the middle of something and I'm feeling shitty or I'm not in the right state of mind and I put it out and I hypnotically have you listen to it, that's unethical.
Yep.
Okay, it's also unethical.
If you're in a bad mood, don't touch my phone.
Yeah, I will not do trance, I will not give you a product to put in your head until I feel right. I just started feeling right about it, and all the pressure, all the people, man, you fucking just go ahead, fucking say what you gotta say. I don't give a fuck. Here's your money back. I'll make sure that everyone's happy with their money back, whatever. I'll figure it out. But in the end, I'm gonna have something fucking balls to the wall that no one's ever done. And I push myself like every day, like 16, 17 hours a day by myself creating shit. Okay, I hit the wall. I burned out for a couple, I didn't know how long it was gonna be.
So what's the website?
Hypnotica.org. I don't even, hypnotica.org.
Okay.
I'm gonna close that loop.
Go ahead, please.
You
We're
already-
gonna go to the next thing. I'm trying to save you for that.
That's okay, I'll just.
Let me tell you what we're gonna do next.
Make the best of it for
I would
last.
like to do, here's what I would like to, we're gonna go into, this is my brother, this is the guys, these tough guys, we're gonna have some deep conversations. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, we're gonna record that, Hypnotica, we're gonna go half and half, it's gonna be a product,
I'm cool,
okay?
yeah.
And we're gonna get into stuff that, just so you guys know, here's how it works. Personally,
I'll
okay,
stay.
and let me,
Get off space, I'll go all night long. if you want.
I know, we're going to. Look, let me tell you guys something before we end this, all right? Because we came together, it was last minute to do this thing, you know, but I said to him, I said, no women. Because I don't teach women like that. I teach my girlfriends, but I don't teach anybody else, okay? And then we had a discussion.
He said, no women
Except
except
the
the mom, I was like, oh, is it a mama, a woman?
Yeah, except my mom's, everybody loves their mom, so it's all right. So anyways, but he had asked for that, and that's perfect that you guys came. And so we spoke a certain way. Now I'm speaking for my audience, okay? And I'm gonna tell you guys something. We're gonna finish this. We're gonna go into the next thing. The next thing we're gonna talk about is this tattoo, which is the taboo, the forbidden of what? Relationships and women. It's everything you ever wanted to know if you saw Hypnotica and AZD get in conversation about shit that you could never know. The deepest, darkest shit is gonna be now, right after this. It's not live, it's gonna be here, we're gonna record it, and we'll have the product very soon, okay? That's what we're going into. Any final statements, brother? First of all, thank you.
I apologize for dropping the ball that some of you spoke about, but I am redeeming myself. So for those of you who lost faith, I believe I'll be back, and if you're past that point in your life where you've done, hey, get your money back, just wait, I gotta rebuild it again.
Well, you know, some people have accumulated so much value in their lifetime that there's just no way they could ever be in the condition of people losing faith in them. You're one of those people. If anybody out there that would, you know, your crowd lost faith in you, then they don't know you. There's nothing, you know, I tell you something, Hypnotica texted.
And you know, that's another thing, like I would get pissed at my wife. You know, even my wife, like everyone like this, and I would say, I go, you know, I'm so pissed that you think that I'm so fucking whacked out that I'm not gonna come back from this of what I'm doing. I go, even those closest to you may come at you, and I'd be like this. It's disrespectful, and I'm insulted that you think that I can't come back from this. I go, I would have never started this if I didn't think it. And none of you, even your friends, are all talking shit. I'm a fucking piece of shit like this. Poor me, feel sorry for me. I go, I feel sorry for you guys. I said, you know what? Because you not having faith in me just makes it so when I'm done, I'm like, well, hey, you guys are all addicted now. You're smoking cigarettes. I see a vape over there and shit like this. I go, you want me to keep coming at you like that? I'm not a hypocrite. I said, so remember that even though your closest people will be your biggest critic.
Absolutely.
And it hurts when those that should know you the most doubt you. And for you just to be like, and it would get me mad, you know, but it was like, but I also understand that anyone in a situation like that, because I went as far as I could go to the point where I went further than I thought, and then even more, and then rebuilt it back. So I can understand how everyone, that's why I didn't want to see any of my friends. So my friends, if you know I've been in hiatus, wasn't showing up to things or whatever, it's because I did not want you to see me in that, because I didn't want anyone that maybe had looked up to me, you know, not blowing smoke in my ass, but looked at me as the strength, dropping the ball, going, fuck man, if Eric can't do it, dude, we're fucked. So
this is important because he texted me during the time he was doing the experiment. He gave me a big text, surprised me because I thought I misread the text you gave
you
me.
probably did. I unfollowed.
No. Let me tell you what happened. No, because you said if anybody lost faith in you, and let me tell you something, because this is very relevant. Actually, now I see why this happened. So it was a text that basically told me that he was experimenting with meth, and he'd gone real far, and real far. I could tell from the syntax that the way I know him as a professional who I can measure, that I really don't think very many people can measure your ability. It's going to be very difficult. You know what I mean? I can measure him. And when I read that for a moment, it hit me like, whoa. Then I tell you what I know. I had 100% faith you were going to get out of it. It was crazy because you said if anybody lost faith. I had 100. Here's all I said. I said to somebody that was around me, I got a text from Hypnotica, this is what I said, I got a text from Hypnotica, it's some heavy shit. Heavy shit. I said, I know something. That's the guy who's gonna get out of it. Like, I never, ever thought you were gonna get out of it. I was freaked out and worried, honestly.
I was worried.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you something. If they lost faith in you, me knowing your ability,
Well,
there's no way you weren't gonna defeat it. There's just no way. You get that? There's no way.
You know what's weird is I felt life was going by and I was like, I lost the game. I'm behind it. It's moving on. And I fucked up. I fucked up. Like there's no coming back from this. And then it was like, and then what shifted it? Yeah, it was gnarly.
That's everything.
You know, I'm looking at myself going, not even looking at myself, not even recognizing myself.
Oh, man.
You know, and not even wanting to look, well, not even fucking flirting because I felt weak. And I was weak.
Kryptonite.
You know, it was like
Max.
my kryptonite to the max. And it was like, how do I even fucking start coming out of this? I'm like, dude, I lost my habits. I'm so far behind the ball that the habits have changed me and I'm fucking going down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, like I'm gonna be the what do you call it? The cautionary tale.
Don't become like Hypnotica.
Yeah, like,
Remember what he was? Remember what happened to him?
and then all the people that I was thinking, fuck, all the people that are listening to my shit are like, fuck, it don't work. Like he went down.
Yeah, it validates everything you ever put out and the hero that you were and all the people you saved.
My whole
They're all
reputation
gone. You.
gone.
You carry the weight of
And
every person you ever helped.
ever
And
helped.
that's why people don't understand the weight of that.
Gone. And it wasn't like, and the only way to get out was like, I had my routine.
Yep.
And my routine was
Process.
was green drinks, fucking get off the shit, have my protocol, do my protocol, get in the ice bath, fucking everything. And tired, drinking. Next thing you know, right around day 4, I look in the mirror and I see the wild man come back. And then it's like 5, and then it's like 6 and 7, and next thing you know, I'm like, and this is only on when I'm doing live food, you know. And this is kind of funny. I'll flip back to this. A friend of mine was at the house and was getting clean and shit like this. And I said, let me tell you, dude, clockwork, bro. When I do green drinks, day 5, clockwork, fucking, I've multiplied and tested it every single day 5. Random people come and go, whoa, they're like, what do you do? You're fucking glowing, you know? And he thought I was bullshit like this. And the other day, he's like, dude, I swear to God, this lady came up to me and she goes, you get Botox. And he's a contractor. He's like, no, I don't. And she goes, your skin is glowing. He came home and he thought, he was like, fucking Eric, where's he at? He's in the fucking store. Like he just set this lady up like this. I go, what day is it? She goes, 1, 2, 5th day. And I go, you're not even doing the full on green drink. You're doing the wheatgrass that I'm giving you and this, and you're still like recovering on this, and we're still not eating properly. It's still, we're just doing the green drinks. I go, he goes, dude. I said, it's fucking, there's a pattern of this, constant. 1, 3, 4 times, and the moment I eat processed food, no confidence.
Right. Okay, we're wrapping it up. Thank you so much, you guys. If you want to get a Hypnotica, find them. It's not that difficult, right? And then we're gonna do our product right now.
Trust me.
Oh yeah, you can't get a hold of him. Good luck. Many have tried.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right, guys. We'll just fucking reconvene. Okay.
Hope you like it. Let us know in the comments.
All right. See you guys soon. All right, I'm gonna go change them.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I could eat.
Okay.